Hello everyone. እንኳን ወደ ፖድካስታችን ወደ መጀመሪያ ኤፒሶድ እንኳን በደህና መጣችሁ እና so my name is Fraul Lamecha and like you might know me from like my Telegram channel Frictones, and I am a REST developer, mostly a backend engineer. I have made some projects like open source projects like SQL Studio and other stuff you might see on my GitHub, and I've worked with a lot of companies and software companies in Ethiopia, and this is our podcast Devtopia, and I'll let my other co-host Yafit describe himself.
So my name is Yafit. እንግዲህ በአብዛኛው የምታውቁኝ ከኦፕን ሶርስ ኮሚዩኒቲ አይደለም፣ ፕሮባብሊ የምታውቁኝ ካላችሁ ከፋይዳ ፕሮጀክት ጋር ካለኝ እንትን ስራዎች ነው። So I've been working at NID for a couple of years. እና ከዛ በፊት ለመንግስትም ለፕራይቬትም ለኤንጂኦዎችም ሰርቻለሁ። So I don't have a lot of open source projects, ግን ካሁን በኋላ ስለመለወጥ ሐሳብ አለኝ። Anyways, that's me እና welcome ወደዚህ ፖድካስት Devtopia ይባላል። I guess we should talk about our motivation for starting something like this. I'll let Fraul.
So there are like tech adjacent podcasts in Ethiopia. There are a couple of them. You might mention Gugut or so in some others. So we what we're trying by the podcast like እየሞከርን ያለነው የምናደርገው ነገር ሀሳባችን like technical discussions with like technical people. So we're not gonna shy away from like discussing the actual details of people's projects and like the products they worked on, and now we're gonna be talking about those kind of issues.
So እንግዲህ እንዳለው ኤክስትሪምሊ ቴክኒካል ዲስካሽኖችም ቢኖሩን ደስ ይለናል። So just a heads up, ቴክኒካል ፖድካስት ነው የሚሆነው። It's not going to be life lessons ምናምን አይነት ነገር ሳይሆን it's going to be hard technology hard to swallow your conversations እንግዲህ ነው የሚኖሩን። Anyways, part of the motivation to do this actually learning is to showcase talent. አንደኛው showcase talent ለምን ከዚህ በፊት ከነበረኝ ከሆነ ሰው ጋር ከነበረኝ conversation ተነስቼ ነው በጣም ሞቲቬትድ ሆንኩት። ለምን people ask me ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ የምር ታለንት አለ ወይ? is it widespread? ማለትም ብዙ ታለንትድ የሆኑ ኢንጂነሮች አሉ ወይ? ወርልድ ክላስ የሆኑ ፕሮዳክቶች ሊሰሩ የሚችሉ ኢንጂነሮች አሉ ወይ? ወይስ is it rare? እና is it like ዩኒኮርኖች ናቸው አይነት? እና in my opinion በደንብ ኢንጂነር እንዲሁም ኦቨር ሰፕላይ ያለን ይመስለኛል። so hopefully ይሄ ፖድካስት ላይ ያንን ሾኬስ እናደርጋለን። ሌላኛው ሞቲቬሽን ደግሞ ኮሚኒቲውን የቴክኖሎጂ ኮሚኒቲው ያው isolated pockets of communities አሉ። እዚህ ጋር ኮኦርዲኔት አለ፣ የፍሪኮንስ ቻናል አለ። basically around specific technology የሚፈጠሩ ኮሚኒቲዎች አሉ። ግን hopefully እዚህ ፖድካስት ላይ the entire technology ecosystem ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ምን ይመስላል የሚለውን I feel like እሱን እናሳያለን ብዬ አስባለሁ። So anything else?
Like you said, like ሌላ ፖይንታችን ኢንተግሬት እያደረግን ነው። so ሀሳቡ በፍሪላንሲንግ ስታፍ ውስጥ ገብተው like ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ሆነው ሪሞት ካምፓኒ የሰሩ there are people doing great stuff like that. There are people working in the government, working on like new systems that are potentially gonna help everyone in the country. እንደዚህ አይነት ሲስተም እየሰሩ ያሉ ሰዎች አሉ። There are also other people who've made like companies out of their projects and stuff, and they're like helping the country like growing that way. So እነዚህን ሰዎች ያናናቸውን ሾኬስ እያደረግን ፖቴንሻል እነዚህ ሁሉም በሴፓሬት ሳይሎ ውስጥ ኤግዚስት ስለሚያደርጉ እነዚህ ሰዎች ኢንተግሬት ለማድረግ ነው ሀሳባችን በዚህ ፖድካስት። From continuing from our intro, so the main thing we're trying to showcase in this podcast is open source developers እና open source projects highest priority ስለምንሰጥ. Our first guest is Beka from most of you might know him from his channel, and he's working Beta Roads, Beta Fetch, Beta Call, Loglib, and original demo from Gabaya Search. Maybe some people in Coordinate might know him from Gabaya Search. Yeah, so he made Beta Road, and now yeah, it's growingly popular, and one of the most used auth libraries in the JavaScript space, in the JavaScript TypeScript space. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be talking about. Yeah.
በጣም አመሰግናለሁ ኢንቨስት ያደርጋችሁ የመጀመሪያው ሰው
Yeah.
I think it's new for both of us.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This should be interesting.
No podcast before this, all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so our first question is gonna be, so yeah, ከዚህ በፊት ሙዚቃ ትሰራለህ ከአሁንም የሰራ ነው and you score movies and stuff, so ከፕሮግራሚንግ ዓለምና ከሚውዚክ ዓለም is like እኔ ኮንሲደር ሳረጋቸው they're like complete ends of the spectrum. you got like an analytical የሆነ እያንዳንዱ ዲፋይን የምታደርግበት ዶሜን እና ደግሞ ሚውዚክ በፊሊንግ ምናምን የሆነ በቃ it's like የሆነ you don't use like analytical tools as much. እና do you find similarities between them or wise like
Yeah, like do you remember የሆነ ሰዓት ላይ ፖስት አድርጌ ነበር like በኬን ሂለር ትዊተር ላይ ፖስት ያደረገው Yeah, so like I noticed like ብዙ ሰዎች actually about programmers they've been like doing music now, you know, at some point. At least like the ones that I came across. And I like
especially in the JavaScript
and I'm like most likely like who works on like a open source stuff man. Like, maybe it's not like unique to that, but like even I remember like watching Superbase like continuing also.
Okay. Yeah, Superbase
like continuing you know,
it's like
even
Astro guy no isn't it?
Yeah, the tutorial actually on the video like I remember like like he works on like studio like hollow like instruments on it. So like I actually noticed like a lot like these people like and I think mostly it's because like even when you do like music it's still like kind of analytical and still like creative also. Even like programming like there is creativity part, you know, creative and output የምታደርግበት ነገር at the same time analytical ነገር እንዳለው ማለት ነው. So I think like music ላይ there is something similar there. So like especially if you are a producer music produce አብዛኛው ሰው እንደዛ ነው like music produce የሚያደርጉ ሰዎች ናቸው rather than like just singers ምናምን ነገር. So if you do music and production like there is a lot of like analytical things like you do sound design like you know you play with like sound waves like so waves and stuff like that. So like you play with oscillators ምናምን ነገር. Even if you don't do that like you still like there is like rules to the thing, so like you have to like play in that rule, like it's not just like and I'm just gonna like I don't think even like አብዛኛው ሰው ራሱ like they are just instrument የሚጫወቱ ሰዎች ሰው ለኔ በተለይ like even when I do music I wasn't interested in becoming like the best piano ተጫዋች or whatever the guitar ተጫዋች like I didn't care even I didn't care like ያን ያለ about ትልቅ ቲዮሪ ስለማር ምናምን ነገር. So all I cared about was like some kind of outlet for me like to create something so የሚሰማው ነገር. And now, like I think for me the similarities lies in that like in programming like I don't have like a plan to become an karami programmer like you can do like the most complex tasks like from the get go like my idea was I want to create something and this will let me do that like I have ideas so I feel like that was a drive for me in both. So like I have friends who are like very talented in music. So ከድሮ ጀምሮ since I grew up in church like church ውስጥ ሙዚቀኛ ይበዛል. So like you know people like ነው ድሮ ጀምሮ ድምፁ ምናምን like they can like know note ምናምን እንደሆነ ሳያውቁ ምናምን ነገር like they can this see ምናምን so I have friends like that ምናምን ነገር እና like you always assume they are talented like I'm not I'm just like እኔ ደግሞ like I have no idea about music ምናምን እስከሆነ point just like I have no interest in music ምናምን I mean I have but like እዛው church ውስጥ ሁሉም ሰው አለው ግን I still like have no idea ግን like just based on ሙዚቃ ሰማ ምናምን ነገር what if I can create like I have that kind of thoughts like ምንም ማው ነገር like if I'm interested in consuming something like I'm also interested like what if I can produce it ምናምን ነገር እና so I think music now someone when I became interested in it like I was like what if I can create like what if I can create like something new ምናምን ነገር so from the get go like I remember when like መጀመሪያ ስማር church keyboard አለ ሙዚቃ keyboard እና I used to do video editing ከዛ በፊት like I was like good at video editing. So I was doing video editing and now like there's a guy like who plays keyboard now so I would go to him and now I'd ask him like እንትን ተሰኛል እና then I started like learning on small things now and that the guy named Simai number one like they don't really care about creating something new. Okay like there's things called bridge so musically መሃል ላይ bridge የለም ደረደረ እና part so they usually try to learn those things like እንትን አንድ ፕራክቲስ የሚያደርጉት ነገር ማለት ነው ደረጃ የሚለናቸው ያቺን ብሪጅ ነው የሆነ ጎበዝ እስኪሆን ድረስ ማለት እና like I remember like I'll go there እና like why are you learning this like why don't you create your own like it doesn't make sense ያልገ like ለኔ like creating something new like rather than copying like copying rather than like only consuming like what if I can create something what if I can create this ምናምን ነገር so I think that led me to music before that I was to do video editing the reason I was using video editing also like kind of the same idea so after that like music like project remember like I think you remember like I literally started programming because I wanted to make Gabia search project like it wasn't Gabia search so if it wasn't for that I wouldn't have started like programming
እኔ አስዩም ያደረኩት ለሆነ ሚውዚክ ፕሮዳክሽን ላይ ለሚያስፈልግ ሶፍትዌር ፕላጊን ልትጽፍ ምናምን መስሎኝ ነበር so Gabia search why
yeah like for on that point like የሆነ ሰዓት ላይ maybe የሆነ programming እና ሙዚቃ እንዳገናኝ ነው ፕሮግራመር የሆንኩት ምናምን ያስብና like there is nothing I can do
have you tried there are like programming languages like that generate tones and like I don't know I wouldn't call it music it's called tones rockstar
I think sound manipulation
I tried to learn like there is like C++ like አብዛኛው የሚሰራው ይሆናል juice የሚባል framework so C++ አብዛኛው የሚሰራው so I discovered that I started trying to learn it but it was like why am I learning this like it's pointless like any brain man like if I had an idea I እንትን ልሰራበት ነው at least something I have novel idea like a copy ከማድረግ ያለፈ something I actually want ምናምን ነገር I would have I think like learned it more like I remember like I wanted to create orchestration audio orchestration the FL studio ምናምን የሚልት but like it's kind of a bit hard and I still don't have like a novel idea just like I just want to create that thing like I think I can create something else ብቻ ከዛ ውጪ and it takes like a lot of effort so that's why I didn't but coming to Gabia search do you know about Gabia search
no
I think I remember ባለፈው describe አድርገኝ
ነው describe አድርጎኛል አይ
ግን for general audience ያላቀው ነበር describe አድርገው
so Gabia search ማለት ሰርች ማድረጊያ እንትን ሳይት ነው so you basically search telegram ላይ ብዙ ቻናሎች አሉ
I still think it's a good idea and it should exist by the way
exactly and I think it would actually do better now since like AI becomes good now yeah ያኔ like አልነበር ብቻ the idea was ቻናሎች አሉ ማርኬት ፕሌስ ብዙ ቻናሎች ቴሌግራም ላይ እና like finding an item ከነዛ ሁሉ ቻናል is hard እና የሆነ አንድ ቻናል ነው ጀነራጋችሁ ምናምን ይፈልጋችሁ ካልሆነ it's going to be hard to find specific item so I wanted a place where I can search like የሆነ ጫማ እና like I can like የሆነ specific ጫማ then like it can give me results from different channels
yeah it's like Google like reverse index over the channels ማለት ነው ከዛ you will store their price range and maybe some options about the product ምናምን specifics about the product ከዛ በሰርች ኢንተርፌስ ታቀርበዋለህ yeah
and not like I didn't bring media it would solve like the vendor problem like if you try to start like and does multi
like a Shopify kind of thing
yeah and Amazon like when Shopify like የሆነ ብዙ ሰዎች አንድ የሚሸጡበት መፍትሄ ከፈለክ one of the problem is like actually finding the sellers so like vendors ማግኘት ከባድ ስለሆነ in this case again you don't have to
find them where they are
like onboarding process
yeah you already have vendors so like like that so I think it's known as like chicken egg problem like ሁሉ የሆነ consumer እና vendor የሚያስፈልገው so in this case you already solved that እና ኢትዮጵያኖችን ደግሞ ማስተማር ከባድ ነው ኢትዮጵያኖችን like big up like ናይ ስፔሲፊክ ኢትዮጵያኖች ግን ኢትዮጵያን like ነጋዴ like የሆነ ቴክኖሎጂ ተጠቀም ብሎ የሆነ like you have to sell on this without like an immediate
return ከሌለው value ከሌለው
I've seen a couple of people እንደዚህ አይነት like Shopify for Ethiopia አይነት product category እየሰሩ ያሉ ሰዎች ግን ሁሉም እንዳልከው like they're expecting them to like mobile app ይኖራቸዋል ከዛ ካታሎጋቸውን ቁጭ ብለው እንዲያስገቡ ምናምን ከዛ nobody's gonna do that
minimal friction እንደዚህ ፎርም ሲያዩ ያቆማሉ
like I remember like my mother had asked the shop እና እዛ ምናምን ይመጣሉ እንደሱ ምናምን እቃችሁን መዝግብ ብላችሁ ምናምን like ግን even my mom lives like and I think like it's going to be hard የሆነ እንትን ለማለት እኔ ራሱ like እኔ ይኖርኝ ቢመጡ ምናምን ነገር አይ ምናምን like even at the technical ነው ማለት ነው like unless like they become the thing እና መጥቶ እኔ ጋር ካልመጡ በስተቀር የሆነ it's hard
እሱ ጋር እኔ I worked with him in ገበያ ሰርች እና እንደውም ገበያ ሰርች was like the third company አልነበረም it's just a couple of guys working on something ግን I think one of the የሰሯቸው ጃቦች ውስጥ አንዱ የመጀመሪያው ገበያ ሰርች ላይ ነበር እና yeah it's I think it's still work እና ችግራችን የነበረው የቴሌግራም ክሮለር ነው እና I remember one of my task was making a telegram crawler that was like trying to get the data from like the different channels now that's the interesting
they know የሚሰራው like እያንዳንዱ ቻናል permission like እንደ ቦታ አዳርጋ ነገር እንዴት ነው like what does that work
user ቦታ አላቸው
user so like you don't have to even like that like እሱን figure out ሳደርግ ነው like damn if I can like I don't even have to ask them like
admin privilege ምናምን ያስፈልገው you can just
regular channel explore እንደሚያደርግ ሰው ሆነ
ገባኝ
yeah so like that was the idea and like I actually built it now like that was the like ሲጀምረው ማለት ነው I think ከዛ በፊት ማለት ነው I had an idea አሁን ያልኩት Shopify idea የለም Shopify የሆነ ሰው ምናምን መጥቶ የሚገዛበት like ከዛ ጀምሮ like I have ideas እና like a friend I had like she was a programmer and now like program la fancy like malu damn like
and the stereotype of I got a great idea
I have an idea alquat man እንደዚህ ነው Lisa like is like
ከዛ you just get
you know na like I remember like Shopify ላይ ደግሞ like አዲስ ነገር ነው like Shopify like ለቴክኖሎጂ ካይና ነው like idea of Shopify is like very
so ቅድም ያልኩት እኔ ሃይ ኤጀንሲ ምናምን ያልኩት እያቀለልኩ ስላይትሊ ግን it's like it's real አሁን እንደዚህ አይነት ሰዎች ብዙ like maybe most of programmers in Ethiopia እንደዛ አይነት ሰው አግኝተው ያውቃሉ just naming them and saying like የሆነ ፕሮዳክት አለ እንስራ ምናምን I'll give you like ሚሉ ሰዎች አሉ ግን like the thing is እሷ የሆነ ከሷ የሆነ ነገር ሰማ I don't know if you should know or something ግን what you decide to do was like actually learn programming and try to build it yourself so that's the thing yeah
at that point like I was like fully committed to become like musician ምናምን ነገር ከዛ after I told her the idea ማለት ነው she went to US like for some internship thing and I like she'll be there like for 3 months now so like ግን like ለሪቶች ነገራት ምናምን ከዛ like in the middle of that የሆነ ስለዚህ ስለ Shopify ሳስብ የቴሌግራም አሳው መጣልኝ like when I was like actually I remember I was trying to search like ሙዚቃ መጫወቻ keyboard so MIDI keyboard ቢሰሪ ሳረግ like there was no result so I was trying to buy that እና what if like there was a thing ምናምን ነገር ከዛ ተነስተን ደግሞ Shopify ምናምን so I told her now she was actually excited about like የለም የሆነ so I just ነገር yeah she wasn't የሆነ አሁን ለምሳሌ ለቤት ምናምን ለሲስተር ነው ተነግራት አለብቷል እንደዚህ አሳቦል ነሳ አታዝም በላ so when I told her man she was like actually it's a good idea ምናምን I was like
yeah I still think it's a good idea and now it's like crazy that Telegram hey yaton ምናምን ብለው ቡልሽታቸውን ከሚሰሩ like what crazy
market place ነገር create ያደርጉ እንደ Facebook market place አይደል ነገር
no it's not a Facebook market place they already know that they must know that ሰዎች እንደ selling የተጠቀሙ ነው አይደል why are they just ignoring it the specific ለሴለር feature ለቀው ያውቃሉ
አለ መሰለኝ
maybe you can have accounts business accounts opening
business account
yeah I think they still like that like I don't think they're gonna care anytime even like I think hologram
ግን ለምን ቆይ ስቶል አረጋ ወይስ እንዴት ነው ፕሮጀክት ገበያ ሰርች why did it ለምንድን ነው I think it's still good የሚለው እስካሁን ድረስ
yeah I think so ለኔ ማለት ነው if something doesn't like የለም የሆነ ሰዓት ላይ if I can see like future የሆነ ቶሎ yeah I can like I don't know maybe I give up on them or I don't know ብቻ I mean again at that point but ደግሞ young ሆነ መጀመሪያም ነገር ሲሆን ምናምን ቶሎ ሪዛልት ካላየና የሆነ ስትራግል ሲመስል like there is like a deep እንትን አይደለ የሆነ ተጀመረና ከዛ ደግሞ
መሀል ላይ YC chart of like startups like
if there was nothing that you can look back and now like can confirm you like at the end of the day like you're going to go somewhere it's going to be hard like to actually go through that and now at that point like I was like I think cuz I have an idea like so ገበያ like I remember I posted I think the last week ምናምን ነገር if you think in terms of parent company like you're not going to make it ነገር so I started
ለራስ እንደዛ ነበር ያሰብከኝ ነበር
I started making a parent company ገበያ solution አልኩት company እና ማለት ገበያ ሰዎች አንድ ፕሮዳክታችን ነው then we're going to make do you remember ገበያ ዳሽ የሚባል project
I think yeah the React Native app
like application so my mother had a shop and like again so እቃ ትሸጥ ማለት ሁሌ like I heard like my sister just ጨርሳ ነበር ትምህርት ተመርቃና ዶናል ጊሳራ ነበር እና ሁሌ like ያወራሉ እንጠፋ እንት ለገና ሰራተኞች አሉ ዘለተና ነገር ሁሌ ያወራሉና I was like what if you create like an app እቃዎች መዝግበን ምናምን ነገር ሲሸጡ ምናምን like እና actually like ask my mom ምናምን ነገር እጂ እንዲህ ቢሰራ ተጠቀሚያለሽ ምናምን like አዎ and that was like then እሱ ለመስራት አስቤ ነበር ብቻ for that purpose like we made it like a parent company you have like 5 ምናምን co-founder ነው
like formalize አድርጋችሁት ነው like ወይስ
no like I just አንድ ከመጡ ንገርኳቸው
you just announced it በጣም ጮክ ብለክ
ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ እኮ it's like one of those business እንደውም ኤግዚስት የሚያደርጉ ካምፓኒዎች ራሱ እንደዚህ ነው ጀነራል ካምፓኒ የሆነ some እንትን solutions የሚባል ካምፓኒ ይመሰርቱና they just iterate on the products inside ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ ያው ቢዝነስ ላይሰንስ ማውጣት ምናምን ሆል ከርፋፈል ስለሆነ they would want to reuse that for different projects እና yeah
I think like maybe it's kind of a trap like የሆነ ፕሮዳክት ላይ ማተኮስ አቁማ ማለት ነው like let's make a like bunch of products ምናምን like that's just a trap
you're trying to hedge your risk ምናምን ነገርና እዛ ይሄ ቢባል
diversify የሚባለው እንትን ቦዲ ያረጋ
you have to focus on one product and ያን product
አይሆንም ደግሞ እሱ ስታርታፕ አለም ውስጥ
and I kind of like you trying to niche ለማስፋት የሞከርከው እና when you starting out like you shouldn't like try to like niche out you have
አሁን በቃ ከፌል ፕሮዳክቱ ወደ ሰክሰስፉል ፕሮዳክት እንግባ ወደ ቤታ ሮት so ቤታ ሮት እኔ አሁን ለምሳሌ መጀመሪያ like ምንድነው I think I've heard you like mention building like a node tool ምናምን ነገር ከዚህ በፊትም ግን መጀመሪያ ምንድነው ኢኒሺየት ያደረገው were you working on a project ምናምን I have to do this ምንም ይሄ ነገር ሶልቭ መደረግ አለበት
what was the pain point
because
የቻለው
you've rewrote it like I think you've mentioned like you rewrote it 3 times ምናምን እና እንደዚህ dedication ለሰው ፐብሊክ ሪሊዝ ከመደረጉ በፊት ነው 3 ጊዜ ራይት ያደረገው
like እስከ ቤትሮ ድረስ የነበረው ሮት ማለት ነው it was cause of like ለምሳሌ ሎግሊብ ነው የሰራሁት ከዛ በፊት
ቆይ ስለ ሎግሊብ እናውራ because it's not ሎግሊብ ነው
ሎግሊብ like ማለት ፕላትፎርም እሱን ሊሰራ ያሰብኩት ማለት ነው cause of ገበያ ሰርች ነው so ገበያ ሰርች ሊሰራ ምንድነው I used to use like analytics tools like
I think you've plumi ምናምን ነገር
mix panel ምናምን ነገር plausible plausible mix panel like ተጠቃ ነበርና like they were good on that እና my idea was like ብዙ ሰው ቢጠቀም ይመስል like አንተ የለም web analytics እና like anyway ሊጠቀም they weren't that good እና I just felt like there could be I remember using linear because I linear የለም application just so there should be like a linear version of web analytics
wait linear metal or project management type of thing issues okay
so linear is not like a novel idea
ግን the UI UX ምናምን ነገር
ግን like they just executed well on it እና I was like I don't think there is a web analytics platform that executed well as linear so like what if I create like a well executed linear that was my I think would do well on BSB I think it still would have done well like if I had like
isn't it አሁንም ሆስት እሱ እንደገበያ ሰርች እኮ አለማ ሎግሊብ is still there
it's hard like እና ግን like I don't think like I actually executed the subset idea because አቆመ like እንትን ማለት ብቻ like original idea ነበር like executing በዛ ደረጃ ማለት so that's why that was the idea I think ከዛ ግን like when I started working on it I just I had a job at that point so I just want to make like a tool now and another one like do you know some some like at that point I was working with some
okay
so I remember like we discussing na ነገር የሆነ web analytics platform like there are many people who use web analytics platforms so if you like have the 1% market share it's a big market share so like we should just at least make for the 1% and be as being that was the idea but I didn't like any I just made it on a source project if you remember it was like a package even you didn't even like first when you reached direct man it was the platform it was just a package but people ask me like it was just self-hostable thing
what's the stack
it was just like TypeScript then I just I made it hosted platform
so the technically interesting part is like what was ClickHouse? Were you using ClickHouse as a DB for that?
Yeah. Oh, that was like ምን አደረኩ መሰለህ like አሁን እንደ ቤተር ሆቴል የለም አዳፕተርስ ዳታቤዝ አዳፕተርስ I like that idea እና like አዳፕተርስ ነው ነገር what if አለው ማለት like አንድ ፕሮጀክት ካለ if you want to use analytics like ኦትን ሆስት እንደምታደርገው ራስ አፕሊኬሽን ላይ አሁን እንደ ቤተር ሆት what if you can host analytics like ራስ አፕል like what do you need like to host outside of ምናምን ነገር like እንደ ቤተር ሆት ሰርቪስ ቢሆን ምናምን ብዬ ማለት so እንደዛ አደረኩትና then like I had like a bunch of adapters for Prisma ምናምን ነገር then I came like that እና ግን at that point after I did it ማለት ነው የሆነ like there was a project I was working on like Jami ምናምን so እሱ ላይ ሳደርገው ማለት ነው like በጣም መቀስ ማለት ጀመረ ኪዩር ነገር ማለት like በጣም ኢቨንቱ ስለነበር like ኢቨንቱ like በጣም ብዙ ኢቨንት ስለሆነ like ትራክ የሚደረገው like ዳታ ብዙ ስለሆነ like it starts like slowing down like the ወደ ኋላ ስቴት ጨራሽ ፌል ያደርጋል I remember like your versal time out አላ time out ያደርጋል like 30 ሰከንድ ቆይቶ ማለት እና ደግሞ on top of that like ከንትን የሚልክ ደግሞ like we also like had to like a bunch of process of JavaScript like to actually get the analytics so basically ClickHouse like analytics database so like you can query like in analytics language so
yeah it's like SQL support ያደርጋሉ ግን ያው
SQL plus analytics ነገር ነው
so የራሳቸው ከስም
it's like I think it's functions
yeah እንደ function ነገር እንደዚህ ግን like SQL ላይ just add like የሆነ analytical የሆኑ queries so you can like get your analysis like active visitors ምናምን ነገር like last 24 hours ምናምን ነገር like you don't have to like get events filter or dates ምናምን ነገር like so like you can just query ነገር active user ምናምን ነገር ከዚህ ሀገር ምናምን so like የሆነ በዚህ እናል እንትን ያሉ so like እና even return ሲያደርግልም you can structure the return data የሆነ better than like የሆነ group ምናምን ማለት ይችላል ዳታ ምናምን ነገር country group አድርገን አይደለም location so that means like way faster so that's why like I started using ClickHouse and by the way we host ClickHouse like self-hosted version like we don't use even their hosted version because the expensive so we just use like the host and VPS like anyway that's like the ClickHouse talk
wait do they have like a embedded DB አይነት ነገር አላቸው ወይስ hosted
like hosted service
industry ላይ አይነት ነገር የላቸው
hosted but they
DuckDB could
at that point like ያኔ DuckDB ማለት በጣም ሪሰርች ነገር ነበር
DuckDB እኔም like SQL Studio ላይ ኢንተግሬት ሳደርገው their rest
integrated that
DuckDB አለው ClickHouseም አለው ግን it's like crazy ነው their rest library compile አያደርግም ነበር እና to submit a patch ምናምን ነገር በጣም early days ነው
they become like funded ነገር yeah እኔ ስጠቀመው like it was like niche like I wanted to avoid using ClickHouse because first I didn't want to like host ClickHouse if it's like ከባድ ነገር በጣም so I don't want to host and actually like it was ከባድ ግን like it was like
it doesn't have like a simple docker run አይነት ነገር ወይስ you have to like set it up
then now you have to use Kafka ምናምን event እንትን ለማድረግ
they recommended architecture recommended deployment ምናምን
yeah it was like pain setup and now if there was someone who hosted another like analytical database I would want to use it physical
I think currently I think acronym restaurant OLTP that's what they call them as ራሳቸውን advertise የሚያደርጉት yeah so
there are others too I think you can use Postgres ራሱ እንደዛ like the early begin like
Postgres that great ሁሉ ነገር ነው support
like I don't know like at that point you can do that
so it's like a chain ማለት ነው እስካሁን የተፈጠረው ገበያ ሰርች ላይ አናሊቲክስ ፈለክ ሎግሊብ ላይ ኦት ፈለክ that's how we get to better out
exactly like loglib ስትሰራ I was using Nextdot ከዛ I wanted to add a like organization team so እሱ ፊቸር ለመጨመር ፈልጌ ማለት ነው then like it's just very standard thing like ሁሉም ቦታ ያለ so I just assumed like there has to be like a Nextdot የተሰራ solution because like Nextdot is a big thing so I was trying to find a solution and there was none like there wasn't even like a guide እንዴት እንደምትጨምሩ and then like at that point I didn't even like care to learn like how people actually do it properly because you can think of it እንደዚህ ባደርግ ምናምን ግን like you're gonna mix it up things like you have like prior experience So like I want like there has to be some solution እንደዚህ የሚሰራል because this just down ቢፈልኩና I remember asking even የቲኦ ቲሲቪ ነው የሱ ዲስኮርድ ላይ ገብቼ like የለም እንደዚህ አይነት ነገር ነው like እና እሱ ነው like ለምን አሰራም ነው ይለኛል
I think people were using passport or Nextdoor like a couple of like years ago
yeah and that was crazy to me like then I tried to and at that point I was trying to contribute to a project ነበርና this project ላይ I saw like clerk organizing ባል ፊቸር እንዳሉ so I was like እንዴት ነው ይሄ like እንትን ላይ ሌለው ምናምን so actually maybe that's like after that ግን ብቻ at that point I started a project called Nextdoor so basically
wait ይሄ ፕሮብለም ግን ጀነሪክ ነው like ለሁሉም ብዙ ሰው ፌስ የሚያደርገው ነገር ነው ወይስ isn't it like a product specific organization እና teams ነው
yeah ግን like it's very common on SaaS projects I think like SaaS ላይ በጣም common ነገር ነው unity teams እና ነገር like we want to invite members so like
ግን organizational structure ላይ depend like you just
I think like if it's not SaaS maybe like a bit ይሆናል ግን SaaS ላይ I think it's very common thing like you do that's why they እንትንም እንዳያደርገው like clerk ነው የሚያደርገው it's like very common and I like I actually was talking to the clerk guy like Colin clerk like he's I don't know he was a CEO or like lead and so he told me like the reason like they do like organization and sharing value ጨመሩት like doing access control is hard like access control is one of the
ጀመሩት to HashiCorp
yeah also just ጨመሩ ማለት like it becomes very complex
yeah
እና ለትንሽ አፕሊኬሽን ለማድረግ ከባድ ነው ለትንሽ ለሳስ ለማድረግ ይከብዳል they become like policy based now
yeah you have to like rules yeah it's just የሆነ access አለው ብቻ ማለት ይጀምራል ከዛ የሆነ ሰዓት ላይ የሆነ ሰው ሪድ ብቻ አለ የሆነ ሰው
ሮሎች ምናምን ይፈጠራል
ከዛ ደግሞ maybe you have like to do's እና issues I don't know ብቻ የሆነ ዳታ ታይፕ ይሄን ዳታ ታይፕ ክሬት ማድረግ ይችላል ይሄንን ግን ሪድ ማድረግ ብቻ ነው የሚችለው complicated ይሆናል በቀላሉ
they create like these engines like engines now like
HashiCorp
Vault
ላይ እንደዛ
anyone who's used HashiCorp እንደዛ ነው እኔ አሁን ሁሌም Vault ምንም nomad deploy ሳደርግ አለው I don't want to miss
and that's why like they try like to separate like authentication authorization like እና ብዙ አለ ለዛ ነው like የተለያየ engine የሚያል ግን when like if you think of like as an organization like there is organization someone has someone is a member they have this set of features and now they have their roles now it becomes like you know way simpler
applicable template ይሆናል ብዙ
yeah and now you can like try to build abstraction on top of that ግን like still it's like a good air for people እና ደግሞ እነሱ like they're targeting like mostly like next year SaaS project like I think would get complex for example if you try to create like governmental project do you remember like na Samsung ጋር ሰራኛ ነበር እንደዚህ ፕሮጀክት ምናምን ነገር
Samsung እንዳለ or someone
so if you try like to implement it like on a complex one that's why they you have to like make it complex so like it becomes complex so you want to avoid that so that's why they added organizing feature so it's kind of common SaaS not like that's why I wanted like I just like I didn't care about the feature like organizing feature like application የሚጨምረው ነገር የለም I just wanted to add it it's very trivial thing for me like it's not the product properly famous
so it's just something you do
it's like authentication you just like you have it you don't have it for that purpose like it was like for me እንዴት ነው የሌለው the open source one the solution even like implementing like two factor like how would you even implement on two factor I remember like I went to documents about project documents documents about project አለ አንድ አለ እንትን document sign ማድረግ
okay yeah
document so I remember like going through the code base and they implemented like organization feature on top of Nextdoor so I tried to copy their ideas on it then I made on Nextdoor የሚባል plugin አለ Nextdoor የሚባል Nextdoor wrap የሚያደርግ ነገር then like Nextdoor ይጠቀማሉ authentication and organization ይጨምራል but it wasn't like fully done but you know a lot of things are but then I was like this like what if there is like a way Nextdoor can allow me like I just imagine like two factor ሊጨምር ብላውን እንደዚህ አይነት way now I have to wrap next door እንደገና እና just manageable. So like what if there is like a plugin system where you can like add an organization plus ጨምሮ like you just
also the plugin system for did they have a plugin system for Nextdoor?
no there's no plugin system like
it's just you're wrapping it and not calling
yeah and literally and then like you expose the independent so you have to like pass me Nextdoor instead the Nextdoor የሚባለው cost and you pass me the auth like and that wasn't the idea. So that was like the initial idea like I have for plugins like what if we can like have a plugin system where you can add organization admin and then you can have two-factor and you can have like this and that. And now like I try to find like someone who's working on auth then complete auth solution like that's not like self-hosted like there was none. Lusha again like even like it requires more work than Nextdoor like it's very light with it's just yeah.
Why did Lusha like stop? Algabayim so.
I think he said like he didn't want to like he was kind of burnt out and now he's not using the project for his own sake like ለራሱ የሚጠቅመው ነገር አይደለም like ለስራ ምን የሚጠቅመው ነገር ሳይሆን I'm not gonna like maintain adapters maintain ማድረግ
where does he work at Vercel or
no it doesn't work at Vercel the Nextdoor guy works at Vercel
yeah okay I got that confused
yeah no but the creator of Lusha is like I think he's
19
yeah he just got to college like
the guy who made Lucy out
yeah
okay wow
yeah even the Nextdoor guy he's like I think he's 30 like I think he's 30 again yes and he wasn't down himself OTS አርጎ
he አሁን ያለው ሜንቴነር አዲስ ሜንቴነር ነው it's like
he wasn't the original creator of Nextdoor እና ግን Nextdoor ሲጀመርም አይዲያው የነበረው he wasn't trying to make like an auth ምናምን ለምሳሌ they were just trying to like make auth authን like easier ለማድረግ that was the only idea like they weren't trying like to make authentication ምናምን they were just like it wasn't that ambitious I think like based on like the just እንትን ባዩት የሆነ የሱ ብሎግ ላይ ካነበብኩት ማለት ነው so even the current maintainer just joined because he was trying to he was asking like for a future የሆነ ሌላ አለ የሆነ OIDC እንትን ምናምን ይባል እና like የሆነ like this is like የእንትን ስራ የሆነ ነገር like for your comment ሪፕላይ አደረገለት ማለት ነው እና it was a bit rude like ሪፕላይ አደረገለት ነገር ግን ማለት ነው እና like I'm not going to mean add this feature ምናምን አለው እና ከዛ ከሆነ ጊዜ በኋላ መልሶ እንደውም ኮሜንት አድርጎ ነበር አሁን አይቼዋለሁ ለምን እንደመለስክልኝ እንደዛ ብሎ መልሶ ነበር ከኔክስቶት እንትን በኋላ ማለት ነው I still don't feel እና ግን it wasn't that ብቻ set record they weren't planning to make like an I think he's trying to make a bit ambitious with the OTJs like rename OTJs rename again I think he told me like he's not he told me I thought like Vercel sponsored project Vercel የሆነ እንትን እንደሚያደርግ like share like Vercel as like you know even not sponsored like he works at OTJs in his like spare time like he doesn't even work at OTJs on like Vercel ራሱ like just የሆነ ትንሽ ሰዓት ምናምን ስራ አይለውም
most of the time እንደዛ ነው የሚያደርጉት ካምፓኒዎች
yeah like when they like
they give them 2 days ምናምን to work on the open source project
so like he just works on like Next.js ምናምን ነገር like OTJs የሚሰራው like but yeah I don't like I'm not sure why they do
in the internal Vercel core base now they don't use they have their own auth implementation they don't use Nextdoor or something like that
yeah I don't think so like if they do probably like yeah I mean like I don't think Nextdoor would even scale for them
okay
and still like they do like a lot of custom things so like yeah, probably not
so let's talk about so the one now essential part of beta root like the plugin extensibility slow እና እኔ like የፕለጊን APIዎቹን የኢንተርፌሱን ምናምን በደንብ ባላነበብኩትም ግን it's crazy like the amount of things you could extend with beta root ማለት ነው ምክንያቱም like you could have two factor on it you could have like username required it's like የፕለጊን functionality ዳታ ስትራክቸሩን ብቻ መቀየር አይደለም or የሎጊን ፍሎውን ብቻ መቀየር አይደለም ወይ አዲስ ተጨማሪ or what ስልክ they're doing all of that now what kind of API are you providing to the plugins to let them be this powerful now
yeah good question so that's one of the reason like I wrote the whole thing like 3-4 times because
you rewrote it
I wrote the whole thing like አራት ጊዜ ነው
before it was publicly released that's the crazy part
and I wrote like once then you know I showed it for someone like መጨረሻው ጊዜ ሪሬስ አደረገው ማለት was actually good እና አሰይቸው ምናምን like I remember ለቲዮ አሰይቸው ምናምን
the YouTuber ወይስ ሌላ ሰው አለ?
ቴዎዶር ነው።
Okay.
So I show him like release are going to arif ነው አለ nah I still don't like as like at that point no better call rate አድርጌ እንደገና better call ላይ እንትን ያልኩት እና they pay like አብዛኛው if you think about it like it's just plain idea ማለት ነው like better is just like it gives you an pay point expose me pay point አለ እና ሳይን ስታደርግበት ሳይን አፕ now so you have your pay points and you have a client to course so you pay points then like the other things you can do like ለምሳሌ የሆነ አንዲ already ምሳሌ independent የሆነ ከስተማይዝ አድርገህ ብትል ከሱ በፊት ከሱ በኋላ ነው የራም ማድረግ ነው like dictation take anything ከዛ ውጪ ያለ ማለት so plugin already like the biz አይዲያቸው you can create your own independent plugin ላይ so like you can define whatever independent you want አዲስ independent ማለት so basically it's back in the service but like we're giving you like a new additional
so you could add like any endpoint you want for like that's specifically useful for like OAuth ላይ ምናምን አይደል
exactly so like stripe plugin place around stripe plugin ላይ stripe specific የሆነ like you can add webhook ምናምን ነገር ሼፕ ሪሊስ የሚያደርግበት so those independents አሉ then ሌላኛው ደግሞ ለምሳሌ two factor ላይ ሳይኒንግ ካደረገ በኋላ so you like ሳይኒንግ independent ለምሳሌ like የመጀመሪያው ቨርዥን ላይ ሁኮቹ የሆነ ማኑዋል ዲፌንድ ናቸው እና like ኢንዲፔንደንቶቹ ላይ እዚህ ጋር ሁኮ ጠራለሁ ነበር then it was like this not scalable like you know I have to every independent like now have to like make it callable እና ነገርና so now get like and independent doesn't care about plugins እና ነገር so it doesn't care about like I'm sorry signing ባለው function ማለት it doesn't care about whether there is two factor ይባል plugin ነው right ነው ነገር care ያለ so like it just try to sign it create session እና ይመልስልሃል that's like all the same independent does ማለት what the two factor plugin does is ይሄ independent ከጨረሰ በኋላ ሴሽኑን ሲመልስልህ ማለት ነው before ሴሽኑን ከመለስ በፊት ቼክ ያደርጋል two factor ነው እኛው ያደርጋል አላደረገም then it will remove the cookie like ሴት ላይ የነበረው
ያኛው ከዛ በፊት ራን ያደረገው ኮድ ክሬት ያደረገው ሴሽን ከሄደሩ remove
ያደርገውና then two factor then it will like store another cookie like two factor direct like በኋላ ሲያደርግ ቼክ የሚያደርግበት ማለት ነው like user ID ምናምን አንድ ነበር ሪኳየር ያደረገው then two factor direct እና it will also store like hash ነው እንትን session ID ምናምን ነገር so then it will do that እና then it will send you the two factor direct የሚባል እንትን like flag like ይልካል then the client will so pluginoች like you can add a client plugin and you can also a server plugin so ሁለቱም plugin አሉ so client plugin ደግሞ will listen like two factor direct ይባል flag እንደመጣለ so it will direct to you to the two factor page if you define that or you can also like show two factor
so okay I didn't even know that so if I'm going to make some kind of plugin so አሁን እንደዚህ በቱ ፋክተር ኬዝ የክላይንቱን ሞዲፋይ የሚያስደርገኝ ነገር ከሆነ the same plugin in API in the better code base would allow me to extend the server ላይ ኦፕሬት የሚያደርግበትን ኬዝን ክላይንቱ ላይ ኦፕሬት የሚያደርግበትን ሎጂክ
no good like client like you have define other plugin ሌላ plugin
oh yeah it's like
client ይባል plugin እና
okay yeah server plugin እና separate
plugin so you have to import both of them
okay
on the client and the server also like one of the reason I did that like plugin the server and the client so one of like I'm saying independent ad start ምሳሌ የሆነ let's say you're making your organization people plugin and invite member by independent so now invite member by independent client ማወቅ አለበት like infernal direct type ማለት ነው so ስለማወቅ now if you can make it generic እና like እንትን ነው እንደ TRPC infernal እንደሚያደርገው you can make የሆነ ኦቲንቲያን ሰጥቶ ኦቲንቲያን ስለሚያውቀው ምናምን ግን if you have for example different server እና client now like you cannot import the server እንትና እና I try to think of like many ideas like how can I make them export the type ከእንትኑ ምናምን like የሆነ ሌላ plugin አድ እንዲያደርጉ ማለት ግን at the end like why do I do that I'm just gonna allow them to just like independently define የሚያደርግ ወደ client plugin አለ so እሱን ሞንስ አድርገው will expose you the
type modify ይደረጋል
ማለት
ከዛ ዶት ስትለው invite የሚል ሜተድ
ይመጣል ማለት so that was that was like the last release የመጣ አዲስ ነገር እሱ so እና እንደውም አዛብኝ የሆነ ፖይንት ላይ give up እና like next year ስለምቻ የሚሰራው የሆነ የለም አንድ እንትን ላይ ብዬ ነበር ግን that's why one of the reason that was the rewrote መጨረሻ ላይ እና that's like one of them እንትን work የሚያደርገው ለዛ ነው like that's why if you make it የሆነ ለምሳሌ ኢንዲፔንደንቱን አዌር ካረኩ ፕለጊኖች አሉ ምናምን ራን ላድርግ ምናምን ካለ it became cumbersome to add a new plugin የለም በየሰዓቱ like that was the way I tried like when I started second time ምናምን ጽፈው እንደዛ ነበር like አይዲያው እና like የሆነ አላረክ ስለ የሆነ just የሆነ አይምሮ ላይ የሆነ cumbersome ነው can I have to run እዚህ ጋር ነው ማረገው ምናምን like so it just didn't make sense የለም logically የሆነ እንደዚህ ነው ራን የሚያደርገው እና like just to point out an architecture it doesn't make sense but like መጨረሻ የነበረው just plugin አልስታረግ ወላጁ እንትን እና one interesting thing ማለት ነው one of the reasons like በጣም ይሰናደኝ ነበር መጨረሻ like relate እንዳደረገበት ያደረገኝ for example if you have server ላይ organization ባለው plugin ላይ let's say you have create organization ባል endpoint so you want that endpoint to run on the server like if they want to create organization on the server so I mean they can do on with like just a hardware ማቸው መጠቀም ይችላል ግን like at the same point ደግሞ like for example
not through the endpoint ግን የሆነ method dot create object ምናምን ብለው ከዛ create organization so የራሳቸው ሃንድለር ከሰርቨር ሳይዱ endpointን ሳይጠቀሙ create ማድረግ እንዲችሉ actually database ጋር ማለት
server ላይ ማድረግ እንዲችሉ ማለት I mean they can do ordering but like እንደ እኛ ምንሰራው independent ላይ will check like የሆነ user like ሊሚቱን አልፏል የመፈን የሚችለው like there are like things that we check like just የሆነ create ማድረግ so now so you ideally want them to run like any function instead of like ordering ቀጣ ከሚበረው ማለት ነው because like create organization ማድረግ ማለት so እንደዛ ለማድረግ if you make የሆነ handler የሆነ መጀመሪያ ሳይበረው የሆነ handler ነው የሆነ server ተጠቅሚ ያቺ እንደ ሆኖና ምትጠቀም like you have ግን you cannot call that endpoint on the server like independent እዛው መጥራት አትችልም like and then I have to make another function just create organization ብትባል function call መታረጋ server ላይ expose ማድረግ የለም ማለት ነው so every plugin now like have to think about like የትኛው ነው ለሰርቨር ኤክስፖርት ማድረግ function ምናምን ብሎ እንትን ሊያደርግ ለምሳሌ get station ለምሳሌ you have to call it on server or the same time on ፍተንደላ so now I have to define like a server get station እና a client get station ምናምን ነገር so it just becomes like ሁሉ plugin ሲሆን ደግሞ like it becomes like unmanageable so that's why I created like a better call so basically better call allows you like you define a plugin an endpoint that endpoint can become like a router like will client ይመጣል at the same time function like you can just call it and it's a function so that was the idea like okay I can make this እና like that's why there isn't like መጨረሻ ሬት ያደረኩበት ምክንያት if you can do that like you can just create
so better call is like a generalized function interface ከዛ on deviceም ይሆናል ለኢንድፖይንትም የጠራ ይሆናል just function rate እንዳለ ሎኬት አታረግም ስኪማውን የሚገባበትና የሚወጣውን ስኪማ ካወቅ you don't care where it is
exactly just normal function server ላይ ስታር እንትን ላይ ስታራው ደግሞ just handler router ላይ ማውንት ከራውተር አለ router ላይ ማውንት ካረከው router actually function ይጠራዋል ግን like to do like pass define ይጠራዋል ብዙ ነው pass እና ነገር can call it so like that was the idea and I tried to find like other solutions because I didn't want to create this because again like
this is a very specific use case I know
yeah I tried to find one like just there wasn't any so that's why like I created that and I think it would even make sense like ከቤተሮት ውጪ ያለ use case for example next ተጠቀም ማለት ነው
መስተቀም
next case you can run server actions on you can use server action
yeah exporting gate functions and post functions and export ያረክ yeah
not that
it's like
server action you can just call a function on the server
yeah
on the client
use server
ነገር you can create a function
you can call like react file ውስጥ የዳታቤዝ query get users የሚል function እዛው react file ውስጥ እዛው የreact component file ውስጥ create አድርገው ከዛ በኋላ ከcomponent code ውስጥ you can call out to that get users function ከዛ next.js it does some magic እና converts it to a fetch call ምናምን ወይ ደግሞ እዛው run ሲያደርግ pre-render ያደርገዋል ብቻ either way
exactly
you don't care function is
you can call የሰርቨር function create user የሚባል server function አለ database የሚጠራ ምናምን ነገር ማለት ነው እሱን client component ላይ መጥራት ይችላል ምን ያደርገዋል እንትን like build ሲያደርገው like will change it to an endpoint then will assign it like a URL so like ከቢልድ በኋላ it actually becomes something callable ማለት ነው independent so like ለዚህ use case ማለት ነው እና ደግሞ አንዳንዴ like server actionን you may want to make like an independent የሆነ ሰው ለሚጠራው ለምሳሌ third party የሚጠሩት ነው the create user የሚባል third party የሆነ በፔክ የሚገኝ ምናምን ነገር ከሆነ so if you use better call you can create an independent that again like you can call it as a server action at the same time demo you can make it like a router and ነገር so that's maybe like something that's feasible like another idea that could be used for but that was the reason better code existed not better not plugins now basically this is like the area of the plugin so you have hooks you have independent that you can define also like one last like thing that I did ለምሳሌ ኔክስት ተጠቀም አዳፕተር አለ ፕሪዝማ አዳፕተር and ብሪዝ አዳፕተር አለ so all what they do is like you pass them like the instance prisma instance and database instance so they just make a query ለምሳሌ adapter ኢንተርፌሳቸው ማለት ነው ኢንተርፌሱ ምንድነው create user የሚባል ኢንተርፌስ አለ so ያኛውን plugin implement ያደርጋል ያኛውን adapter implement ያደርጋል ያኛውን adapter implement ያደርጋል like every adapter just implement that like specific call ማለት ነው
create session get session
oh yeah exactly so like እነሱ ማለት ነው so like እኔ ማቆ adapter like የነሱ ኮድ ቢሰው እንደዛ ነው like if I start making plugins and if we have the different like adapters this just become unusable because ለዚህ ሁሉ like አንድ plugin ለምሳሌ ሲሰራ ለሁሉም አዳፕተር like ኮሉን አይጽፈውም like create organize ሲባል ኮል ለዛኛው like it does make sense like to make you like እና ደግሞ even other people can make እንትና ለነሱም በላይ implement like just that just doesn't work so instead I made the adapters like layering interface ማለት they just implement a CRUD operation
CRUD operation
okay
ለምሳሌ like የፕሪዝማ አዳፕተር like create የሚባል አዳፕተር አለ you pass it a module like ቤተሮት የሚያውቀው አንድ ቤተሮት like ከኦርሪሞቹ ለኦርሪም ማለት so ኦርሪሞቹ ኮል የሚያደርገው እኛው ኦርሪም ነው so like ኦርሪም ማለት so like they can call like ለምሳሌ create የሚባለው ሲጠራው will be converted to prisma create so like update ነው
ምንድነው አሁን የከፋው አብዛኛው to understand አደረኩት there are cases in which you ሁሉ ጊዜ ዩዘር ብቻ አለም ክሬት ማድረግ መፈልገው ኦርጋናይዜሽን ክሬት ማድረግ መፈልገው ጊዜ አለ maybe what if you let two factor የሆነ specific table so what you need is an actual like full fledged access to the ORM የፈለከውን table የፈለከውን እንትን create
exactly so to do that you cannot at some point like I just thought like I'm just going to use kizli ball
I never used the gun about
query builder no like ፈጣን ነው it just does query building it does not work
yeah it gives you a bunch of like SQL a better way of writing SQL yeah that's
just tap
ORM without the action
and my idea was like I'm just going to add SQL database so there's no adapter or whatever ነው ይባል ነገር then just rate እና እኛ ኢንተርናሊ እንትን ክሊን ተጠቀማለን then you have to just give us a connection to the database that was my idea but like you know if so like any number like this kind of like block a lot of people really are not familiar like they don't want to give me even plus them again they probably want to like have the schema on their database and like which for me people already are familiar I remember መጀመሪያ ሊስት እናደርገው ማለት ነው it was this like ክሊን ብቻ ነበር ሰፖርት የሚያደርገው like መጀመሪያ version like beta solution እና ኮሜንት ላይ ማለት ነው when is adapter yeah I probably should think about this I mean and again at that point I already had like the adapter idea now when I implemented it so adapter so like the adapter just implement so now we have MongoDB adapter
yeah this is crazy yeah it's like and I want some beta roads like better plugins it's like the most of the work I think yeah security stuff maybe hashing it's just a standard industry standard no you just have to look it up and now correct ትክክለኛ salt size ትክክለኛ ብቻ that's just ግን ይሄ plugin system like ከሁሉም better road ላይ impress የሚያደርገኝ እሱ ነው እና yeah the amount of you could like they can bring their own data model they could bring their own endpoints they could bring their own client functions that's crazy yeah
even like if you define ለምሳሌ user table and this field define ማድረግ ከፈለክ if you define schema user it will infer you like sections case ያደርግ ማለት ነው it will infer አዲስ field add እንዳደረክና like plugin ለምሳሌ admin የሚባለው plugin it will add role የሚባለው field user table ላይ so it will add like role የሚባለውን field user like case session የምትባለው አስጣራት it will infer user የሚባል አዲስ field እንደጨመርክ ነው based on like the model name so like that and like associate like ሲጀምረው I'm not like that familiar with security and ያለው እንትን ምናምን so the amount of knowledge I have is almost zero I remember like I was struggling to understand cookies like I don't know how cookies work now. Like
Everyone struggles.
You could see you understand cookies ግን የሆነ ኤምዴን ፔጅ ላይ የአንድ ስፔሲፊክ ሄደር ቫልዩ ልክል it could change ሁሉም እንደ ኩኪዎች የሚሰሩበትን መንገድ ይቀይረዋል
I'm reading this like እንዴት ነው understand ያደርጉታል like የምዴን ነው ደግሞ was just a bit it was confusing but it was like yeah but like they like you have to secure like secure cooking ባል ነገር አለ like next people እና ደግሞ you have to make it and I was just like what is this
prefetch requests business yakabba
I think people still like are like very confused about cookies like አሁን የሚያጋጥመኝ አብዛኛው ሰው ማለት ነው አብዛኛው like ቤተሰብ የሚመጡ ሾች ራሱ ማለት ነው እስከሆነ point ድረስ people just don't understand like how cookies work so like they have some problems so but like and at that point like I just have no idea how actually like the old part of things work so
ከሁሉም ኦት ፕሮቫይደሮች ጋር like integrate support ማድረግ implement ያደረገው ራስህ ነህ ወይስ are there people helping you with that because ከእያንዳንዱ ጋር
Google like
yeah ኦት ፕሮቫይደሮች
yeah I know I just like
እያንዳንዱ ራስህ like
yeah and it's simple like if I remember like being very scared of the speaking balloon እንትን ከፈትኩትና like ጽሁፍ ምናምን ያስፈራል like ነጭ ፔጅ ላይ ምናምን I'm not that smart like I'm not gonna read and I went through like your next dot correlation ምናምን ነገር to see ምናምን ግን still like አንዳንድ ሰው ምናምን ግራ ይገባኛል like እኔ የሆነ ባክል like ያልማ ምናምን ማመብ ጀመርኩ ማለት ነው it was like very simple actually like if you read it ማለት ነው it was like
it should be I think አሁን ያ ኦይት ስፔኮቹ ምናምን I don't know መጀመሪያ አላገም ቆይቷል before like just started out programming ምናምን የኦክታ ዩቲዩብ ቻናል አግኝቼ ከዛ ስፔክ ስለ ስፔኮቻቸው ምናምን ይችላል let's check this out ሳነበው just a fun ብዙ ነገሩ ስፔሲፊካሊ የሴኩሪቲ ምናምን ሩል የሚያደርጉት ኦኬ እሱን አንብበ ብቻ ይሄን ስፔሲፊክ አልጎሪዝም or ተጠቀማለህ ግን ጀነራል ኬዝ በግራፍ ነው ሁሌም ሪፕሬዘንት መደረግ ያለበት between the communication between the authorization server እና እንጂ በጽሁፍ ሲደረግ የሌለ ኮምፕሊኬትድ ይመስላል
ግን
ያ ቻርት ካረከው ግን ታየዋለህ ይሄ እዚህ ጋር ይመጣል ይሄ እዚህ ጋር ይላል ከዛ ይሄን ቶከን ተጠቅሞ ይጨርሳል
እኔ ኦት ኮንፊውዝ ያደርገኝ እሱ ነው
the speak part like they have like since you have to like it's very detailed and sanable and it's like very plain English it's not like one አንበው የምትረዳው ነገር ነው የሆነ just ቁጭ ብለህ እሱን ይጻፍከው ማለት ነው you can code እዚህ ጋር ኮፒ ያደረከው ነገር ነው it's that clear like it's not that complicated and that's why like እሱ ሳነበው I was like ከዛ በኋላ ነው የስፔከር አንበብ እንትን ፎቢያ የጠፋው እንጂ I'm not gonna read this ምናምን
ያፌትን ጥያቄ ግን it's like I thought you had generic OAuth implementation ለያንዳንዶቹ
like we have like social progress ይባላል ማለት ነው now we have also generic OAuth but like we just allow you like to pass your configuration and just if you have your own ADP ምናምን ነገር እንድታርገው ግን እኛ ፕሪኮንፊገር ምናደርጋቸው ምናምን አሉ like በዚህ ደግሞ like mostly ኮንፊገር ምናደርገው ለምሳሌ ዩዘር ኦብጀክቱን ለማግኘት ለምሳሌ ጊታብ ላይ ፊክስ ታርጌ ዩዘር ኢንፎን ኢሜል ፕራይቬት ከሆነ አብዛኛው ኢሜል ፕራይቬት ነው ፕራይቬት ኢሜል ኦን ካርክ ኢሜል ነው ይልክልህ so like by default ነው so you have to there is another point that you have to fix emails ምናምን ነገር እንደዚህ ዲቴሎች ምናምን ነገር like you have to provide ካረክ
ያንዳንዱ ፕሮቫይደር ይለያያል like እንደዚህ አይነት like
actually like አብዛኛው ፕሮቫይደር በስተቀር ኢምፕሊመንት ያደርጉም
that's what I suspected
yeah like this they have like ምን ጭራሽ like ማን ነገር የሚያደርግ እንትን አለ and that like that's the problem
what is suggestion no speak and
literal suggestion no it's like and that like that's why you also do there like who didn't even sign like ID token provide me argon ID token like just literally like sign the ID token and you have to verify man like you know signature just plain that everything and which are like those are the old part of the thing man is I mean it's hard in the sense like it's not it takes time to actually understand ነገሮች እና ደግሞ የሆነ አልነስ like it takes time
you could make mistakes እና critical ስለሆነ ከባድ ነው የላይብራሪውን ቫሊዲቲ ምናምን ያ
exactly እና ደግሞ የሆነ ሰው ሁሉ ጊዜ ለፍተው ነው ሰው እየተጠቀሙ that was like my initial fear like risk ካልኩት initial fear ነበር አሁን ነገ ጧት ተነስቶኝ የሆነ የሚሆን ነገር አግኝቶ ምናምን ነገር like I'm just going to go
exploitable code
and open source መሆኑ ደግሞ የበለጠ ጭማሪ
yeah and like critical ምናምን ነገር የሚኖሩ ሲሆን like I think we still have like critical issues ምናምን ይመስላል I mean every open source project have like
critical issue ቶሎ ፓች ማድረግ ያለበት ነገር አለ
ግን የሆነ የለም childish የሆነ critical issue ግን like makes you like like ይሄ አለበት ምናምን የለም ሁሉም ሰው የሚያስጠንቀው ነገር so like that was kind of like my fear because like I was like I'm the auto guy
so auto implement ማድረግ ነው probably like የኔክስት ሰዎችም እንዳልከው የሆነ አይኔ ኦዋት ብቻ ነው እኔ እንትን ብቻ ነኝ ምናምን የሚል ነገር የሚበዛው ፓስፖርት ላይ ራሱ የኖት.js ፓስፖርት ላይ አይኔ የፕሪዝማ ኢንተግሬሽን ብቻ እናደርግላለን አይኔ ዩዘር ኮል ባጉን like
the more things you support the more problems are there
people can like people don't like I remember the first version man there is like open redirect kind of childish because like last race አረጋው ማለት ነው just የሆነ ፓይለት ሞዴል ማለት መጀመሪያ ላይ አንበበው ምናምን ትረዳለህ you just implement it yourself like you think I understand like all speak so like low redirect like open ነበር like የመጀመሪያው so the open redirect ምንድነው የሆነ basically like I can give you a random end point ከዛ አዛው ላይ ስገባ ለምሳሌ betrot.com callback URL እንደ query param ምንም ሰጠ you don't check like if you have to evil.com like redirect ማድረግ የምችል ከሆነ I can give you like phishing attack ያጋልጣል so like I can give you like ለምሳሌ እንትን ላይ ምንድነው ኦት ላይ callback URL ይሰጠኛል callback URL ነው redirect ማድረግ መልሽ so callback URL ን like evil.com አድርገህ ሰጠኝ like if I redirect you back that's gonna be a problem like ለሁሉም ሰው anyone can fish with your URL ማለት so like it's not like I mean people still like face any problem ግን like at that point you know all implementation like just one of like the first lanes and like protect against this one it was like and then like it was like and then let's go because dude like I didn't even protect how I like forgetting like this is the most basic thing they carry man like now I think that was like the and people that don't really man ለምሳሌ መጀመሪያ ልክሪስ ነበር ለሉሻ ተስሮኝ ማለት she went through it I don't think you went through like the whole vision like try to see them you gave me some feedback now so I don't think that people are people are not like any fault you think like people are looking for you don't fall now never like ayo people are not doing that like they just want to no they think like and I don't think like people will be this thankful like every open source you have open issue man like thank you for making this project now like thank you like it's
and that has only happened once with SQL Studio kaza weirded out ነው እንኩት እኔ ግን እንደው እኔ the complete reaction ያን ያህል issue create አላረጉም ሰዎች SQL Studio ላይ ግን I just felt entitlement ነው ሰማኝ የምር ሰዎች ጋር ወይ የኔ perspective ይሆናል እንጂ I don't know maybe silly mistake ምናምን ያያረጉ ስለነበረ ነው እንጂ so ለምሳሌ አሁን የዶከር ኔትወርኪንግ ኮንፊጋቸው ላይ ምናምን የዶከር ኮምፖዝ ላይ ኔትወርኪንጋቸው ምናምን ሜሳፕ ያደርጉና ከዛ በኋላ ዴቪድ SQL Studio ብሮክ አረ ከዛ ዶከር ኮንፊጋቸውን ፊክስ ያደርጉ ነው I didn't have the patience for it
that's the most common thing እዚህ እኮ ግን like I try to be like patient cause አሁን ባንተ ኬዝ ማለት የሚጠቀመው ሰው ይሆናል not you don't want everyone to use it you know I'm sorry
yeah I think yeah SQL Studio ላይ እንዳልከው የሆነ አሁን ቤታሮት ላይ የሆነ ሰው ቢያንስ ፕሮዳክት ገንብቷል ከዛ they want integrate a node server so they have some amount of knowledge SQL Studio ላይ ግን they just want to look into some database it's like አላውቅም የሆነ እንትኑ
I mean yes ግን ማለት አንተ ለምሳሌ like if someone want to look የሆነ እንትና SQL መጠቀም ከፈለገ at least like you know I mean they are a bit familiar with database damn database yeah they are like looking for specific thing all is like a standard thing like and everyone feels man like and like there are many beginners man like you just take one implement out and even not beginners like you know I'm saying you know
like
like
why do you have to implement that ግን እኔ የማይገባኝ ነገር generic implementation ነው already with like አሁን ለምሳሌ auth support ስታደርግ already በTypeScript auth support የሚያደርግ like sort of implementation የለም ከሌሎች ሪፖዚቶሪዎች ፑል የምታደርገው ነገር የለም like
I mean like ሉሻ ከዲፕሊኬት ከሆነ በኋላ they brought like a guide where you can yeah you can copy ምናምን ነገር በስቲክ ገብታ የሆነ copy still like it's like a code you have in your application እና ደግሞ even from my experience I don't think you should put your auth logic on your application because it can easily become complex like I'm not trying to like make it እንትን ግን ማለት ነው if you like based on my experience, if you don't care about auth, so like auth is not your thing. Like maybe I will do novel product is wrong now. Like I want to make linear now. Maybe I'll implement auth application like just because you're checking like auth is something standard. You don't want to just waste your time when a random ነገር break አድርጎ የሆነ አይደለም ሳስተ የሆነች ነገር like because you don't even የሱ ለምሳሌ like he ለምሳሌ የለም ብዙ ሰው ለምሳሌ they're not familiar with how to even use like a binary operations JavaScript ላይ so like he uses like a binary operations function ላይ one people use that like I don't understand this one ነገር mostly they will just copy it. But like if something breaks, you're not understanding. And now you have to understand like how that works. It's good for you to understand it, but like it's at the same time like I just want to make something like at this point like I mean even if you understand it now sometimes like you forget like if how it works man. Like, even like I understand that good as well. Like I for example I don't understand I don't remember like the whole auth speak right now like, but taking him like I have to look it up now like oh is got let's break it out. So if you have building like some kind of product and if you don't want to care about it, it's just something like since it's something standard and not the simple it takes like some amount of code to actually like do something. I'd say it's better to use some kind of abstraction on top of that. I think Lucia gave that in some amount, but still like and if I make a project if beta doesn't exist, I would still use the next thought like I would not use like
yeah I guess በጃቫስክሪፕት or TypeScript ዓለም ውስጥ እንደዚህ አይነት ኬዞች like I don't know harder የሚሆነው if you're using another language if it's not JavaScript you're just building a server most probably ከዛ ሰርቨር ከሆነ ደግሞ you're just parsing out requests ከዛ ሁሉም ጋር ስታንዳርድ ላይብረሪ ይኖራል የሆነ በእያንዳንዱ ላንጉዌጅ ማለት ነው ከዛ you don't like እዚህ ጋር ግን ካዩት just TypeScript ጋር ግን ከሆነ TypeScript ከሆነ ሰው በቃ ተላምዷል ክላይንቱ ጋር ያለው ታይፕ ማች እንዲያረግ ከሰርቨሩ ጋር ደግሞ like የነዚህ ፉል ስታክ ፍሬምወርኮች ዲፕሎይ የሚደረጉበት ስፔሲፊክ መንገዶች አሉ ከዛ when you're svelte kit ጋር ኢምፕሊመንት ያረከውን auth እንትን በቀላሉ ወደ next.js ሙቭ ማድረግ አችለው ምናምን
also like on state በጣም ሰርፕራይዝ አድርጎኝ ነበር there was no auth solution next.js ነው የሚሰራው like አሁን ይሰራል ፍሬምወርክ ላይ auth.js ግን like there was Lucia ነበረ Lucia like requires more work than next.js like there was literally no solution ደህና የሚባል auth ከሰርድ ፓርቲ ውጪ to use on other frameworks.
It was so bad people were recommending Clerk for
everyone was recommending Clerk like and now move ለማድረግ ፈልግ ማለት I remember trying to move locally to Svelte kit on a point like because next.js server at some point was very like slow እና እንዴት ነው ሙቭ ማድረገው አውተንቲኬሽን ቢያስበው just I'm have to use ገና ይሄን ተጠቅሜ ምናምን so anyway እና ደግሞ I think for example people even don't want to think about all the important concept like if you want to implement continuous Google you are thinking in terms of continuous Google like ለምሳሌ ገበያችን ሰራ like I implemented continuous Google like I wasn't thinking of like I want to implement it was just like you can do this like I've seen this on other websites so like I just want
feature is continuous
I don't want to care like about like there is a spec man you have this is the spec part like I just don't want to care like about that part
እስቲ እንደውም OAuth ጋር ከሆነ አሁን what is the worst OAuth provider you have to integrate the most needlessly complex one
I've had like there is a blog and time as well ፒክሮ የሉሺያ ለቀቀው
የOAuth ብሎጉን አላየሁትም ግን ይሄ የኦት ጋይድ ያልከውን ዌብሳይት ቼክ አድርጌዋለሁ ኮፐንሄገን
he was complaining about like የተለያየ OAuth provider like I don't know maybe Microsoft ግን Microsoft was bad
why
especially like they had like to allow them like like enterprise to allow like enterprise client ID they have like so like server like enterprise server
like SAML something else
no they have IDC like IDC compliant server so like some providers are like they have like different like, I forget like I work it but like they have like completely different implementation like normal than generic camera I don't know that was the reason why I don't know like እኛን በተው provider implementation it's like copy paste ነገር ነው rather than like I didn't build abstraction on top of it because like I was like I'm not gonna build abstraction because something break ያደርጋል እና የኪዩን implementation ሳይው the guy was struggling to make it fit በነበረው abstraction like he even like was asking Microsoft please fix this like we are gonna
Yeah, Lucia ላይ ነው
breaker next to it.
Okay.
Which is like fully breaking it up. And I was like, I'm just not gonna do that. Like Moodware implementation, it was like from scratch. You wouldn't like copy አድርገህ ነው የምትጀምረው እንጂ it's not something abstraction on top of them really ተደረገ. It's changed like it's not gonna work for you. Like can ከዛ ውጪ since I had the privilege to use already what next to that did እና ደግሞ architect የለም የሉሻ out. So in architect indeed it wasn't that hard for me to find read ለማድረግ እንትናቸው
ግን by the way ለዛው ለእንትን ይሄ ማን ነበር ሰው ፒልኮ የሉሲያ አውት ኮፐንሄገን ቡክ የሚለው ነው የአውት ጋይዱ ኮፐንሄገን ቡክ ብቻ we should link it in the እንትና people should read it ራሳቸው ኢምፕሊመንት ባያደርጉት ራሱ it's just a good read
the Copenhagen book
and that's just a good
it's not just a collection of 5 6 7 pages he just called it a book
and he like for example he's like an old guy like I'm not that person
I think
he cares about like he just I remember like us discuss እናደርግ የሆነ expo plugin ሰራ like expo plugin like this has like some vulnerability and like የሆነ kind of discuss to you because አወራ ምናምን ነገር ነው just like we were like discussing in detail now like how we can implement old expo ላይ ማለት because there was like after we had like a long discussion I went to the expo docs
okay
and the expo doc recommend የሚያደርገው ማለት ነው like the way like I did it can I didn't read the any at is it's still like vulnerable it's like it's not like it's not it's just scheme የለም redirect ታርግ you need to use scheme application scheme
okay yeah
an application like ID እንደማለት
like can be to open up the app when the redirect
open like redirect box ታርግ open ማድረግ አለበት እና እሱ ለማድረግ like ምንድነው it's not unique until I was saying like the Android it's not a unique value so like another application can register on the scheme and I can open it
so there is a secret another way of doing it or
no ለምሳሌ like የሆነ application install ባስደረገ እና የሜርኩሪ ባንክ whatever bank account application ካለ ለዚህ bank application scheme አደረገና then redirect ያደርግ redirect እናገኘው ማለት ነው so like you can
so how was that issue solved it's like
it wasn't solved like
you can still do that so yeah
ማለት it's no
disclaimer ማስገባት አለብን disclaimer
it's like would be that the የጋፑ idea ለምሳሌ com.cb.bank ይሆንና ከዛ if another app gets registered with that same scheme or that's what they call it so redirect የሚደረግ flow ካለ the app the evil app will get opened
the evil app can get opened not always but it could get opened በዛኛው scheme ማለት like the way that I was going to solve it was using like old core verification flow
okay
so basically ምንድነው መጀመሪያ core verification ሰጠዋለሁ then like redirect አደረግ ኮድ ሰጠውና ሁለቱን ልኮልኝ አፕሊኬሽኑ ነው እሱ እንደላከኝ ለማቅማል redirect ካረኩት በኋላ ሁለቱን ሰጠኝ ነው ሴሽን ቶከን ሰጠው ምናምን that was the idea so problem redirect box አደረገ ሴሽን ቶከኑን stimulate ለማድረግ ነው እንደ query part that's the problem like so they can use the session ID እና session ID መጠቀም ይችላሉ so instead of giving the session ID I'm just going to give redirect this code so you can exchange the code ከመጀመሪያ ሰጠው እንትን ጋር to get back the session
all of OATA exchanging tokens with other tokens
so basically like you implement OAuth again on the expo app like that was the solution we ended up with but it still can read the code verification መጀመሪያው ላይ ነበር so it's not like there's no like purely possible like when እና security አባብዘኝ ተስፋው ማለት ነው like this is the right this is the wrong ይባል ነገር የለም like spectrum like
ግን ፎርስ አያደርግም like እንትን ፎርስ አያደርግም like የሆነ specific implementation ያላቸው ሰዎች like እንትን አይሉ like ፎርስ አያደርጉም like adhering to regulations or something like that
that's what I'm saying like for example if you're making a small app and have to zika security like በጣም መሆን አለበት you know just like you can get away with not hashing your password you shouldn't but like you can get away with like if you're just making a small app now ነገር I have to hash password like just ሜቢ ላይክ ሜክ ላይክ አናፕ የሆነ ለአንተና ለአምስት ጓደኞች
ግን ዶንት ፒፕል ዳት ዩዝ ቤተር አውት ማለት ነው ዶንት ዴይ ላይክ ፎርስ ለማድረግ አይሞክሩም ያንተን ኢምፕሊሜንቴሽን ቱ አዲር ቱ ዴር
what I'm saying is like we try to make የሆነ as much as we can like without like hugely sacrificing the developer experience to actually provide you like the most secure possible solution. So that's the idea, like give you the most secure, like, but it's not like on the extreme end of security because when you're on the extreme end of security, you know, usability to kind of swallow it. Now we try like to make it like in the middle, like ለምሳሌ local storage ላይ store ማድረግ token and like everybody say like local storage ላይ ካረከው እኮ በቃ XCC አታውቃት ኦፕን ትሆናለህ ምናምን እና like I mean you can be like store ያደርገዋል even ለምሳሌ አንድ ጉድ ኤግዛምፕል ለምሳሌ አንዳንድ ሰው እንደዚህ ዌስት ነግረው ማለት ነው ሲሰጣክ አንደኛው ኤግዛምፕል ለምሳሌ ሲሰጣክ ኦልሬዲ ኮንኮ like that's the list of your concept like I can just say the request without knowing the session I don't have to know the session to send request if I already like can for example you can have XSS on URLs so you can have for example if one of the issues like on something አለ ነበር ማለት የኤረር ፔጃችን ላይ ማለት ኤረር ላይ if you don't sanitize the air query parameter well, it can like run XSS on the thing one like you can run like JavaScript like error code like query query na just render the error code on the HTML so you can run like
it's like you're using dangerously set in HTML ምናምን ወይስ if it's just if you just like ቴክስቱን በሪያክት ውስጥም ብለህ ካሳየው እኮ I think React would sanitize it አይደል?
React would sanitize right no if you don't like we had like an independent no just we didn't like we just it was actually like a sample code like for error page for like sample code so we have a sample error page so until you implement your own one so in that independent like we just have like some random HTML just this is error so it will like if you want to redirect ለምሳሌ auto redirection እናደርገ we may not know like a front end independent so we just redirect to random error page so for that purpose like we have the not like for example if you do that you can just like run JavaScript and just call command JavaScript and I can still do like your session and local storage like on so like I don't have like I mean I still can say like request this when I'm ከዛው like I mean you can be open for that but it would be easier like ለምሳሌ ዩዘሩ ምናምን አድርጎ ምናምን ረጅም ከሆነ አሁን ፌኪር ኪዩስ ምናምን ነገር like it's going to be like a bit problematic so at least but text jar is still like easier like to add callback and the query parameter so you can just do that now you can just still what you want to know that so see you experience you can ለምሳሌ አሁን at this point O0 recommend የሚያደርገው local storage ላይ ስቶር ማድረግ
ነው ለምን
local storage ላይ ስቶር ማድረግ ነው recommend የሚያደርገው they removed their whole like
local storage ባል
ነው አጥፉትና ማለት ነው you have to store ለምንድን ነው Google became like block አደረገ third party cookie block ሲያደርግ like they can set cookies ከዚህ በኋላ ከዛ ነው so I just removed ነገር ነው ማለት local መጠቀም ትችላላችሁ because like again it's usability like I mean it's a risk but like you can mitigate on XSS attack open ትሆናለህ ስለዚህ ማድረግ የለብህም ምናምን ሲሆን like let's just protect XSS attack rather than like trying to እና ብቻ at the end of the day security is something linear like እዚህ ጋር ወይ እንትን እዚህ ጋር
you just have to balance it like TypeScript now JS ecosystem ለኔ አዲስ ነው I'm sorry if I'm being good I feel like someone should probably implement a plugin a FIDAM plugin for a better auth because OIDC provide እናደርጋለን OIDC auth and someone should probably make that someone should probably be me gonna TypeScript 0 ነው ስለዚህ probably
I mean that might not even require plugin like you can just if it's like compatible OIDC like
I'm not sure if it's exactly auth now I don't know you're the clearly question dalko ቅደሳችሁ ግን እስቲ I'll find out now
we have OIDC plugin by the way like you can have your own OpenAI plugin we have IDC plugin like you can have your own ID
oh you can be an ID provider oh nice
it's one plugin and you have an ID
like yeah crazy
good if you think about it just at the end of the day
you're just exposing your endpoint yeah Good, yeah, it's like the crazy thing is like you've made the plugin interface like extensible. You have to support those kind of use cases.
Yeah. And I think then better code helper በጣም because like you have like and common read የምታደርግ
Yeah, so we're at like doesn't look malok. So first ገበያ search log lib better root better code. That's the loop. Yeah. So when did better fetch come into the scene?
So actually better fetch helped me to understand how actually TypeScript works.
Okay. The TypeScript wizardry የተለማመድክበት እዛ ነው።
The only like way I know how to use TypeScript as a user. Again, I didn't know like how to use as a library author because like, there's like it can get way complex than like the normal to use it. So like you better author and it was like how am I going to do this man nigga? This kind of took me like a lot of time. Now like I tried to read man nigga book. I tried to watch talks man nigga would just like flying over my head. So and better fishing but idea metalina I just tried to make a fish library. Actually I was trying to use all fishing library number. አንጄስ የሚሰራው አንጄስ የሚባል ኢኮሲስተም አለ
ማን ነበር አንትፉ አይደል ያ ሰውዬ
እና አንትፉ በት like the next ምናምን ፒፕሎች ነው የሚሰሩት
I think it's part of the team is probably
he does like እና እንትን አለ ማን the famous guy actually next ላይ ሆኖ የሚሰራው ሰውዬ I should have known እሺ ብቻ እነሱ የሚሰሩት አለና like ኦፊሽ ይባላላቸው ኦፊሽ ይባላል ፊሽ እንትን ነው ራፐር so I wanted to use fish rapper for better root cause like often a parts body now. So I just want some kind of abstraction. So you the take some like it wasn't the idea of it is just like it will throw error for you.
Yeah.
And actually like I don't think throwing error for a pair request is like a good idea. It's kind of expected error so like you have to handle it so like you know it's better if it's returned as a value rather than yeah. Exactly. So like that was like there should be something like this now. That was my idea. So I wanted to build that. So it required like a lot of like type inference and now as a mate it becomes like like no you can define a schema you can define schema like I try to make it complex and then through that I learned like how actually TypeScript works and I once learned it demo like it's easier like advanced ነገሮችን ከዛ በኋላ ደግሞ it's not that hard.
What's one thing TypeScript እንደዚህ በጣም like one of the impressive parts about better fetch you could have like parameteroችን እንደ colon id ምናምን ብለህ አስቀምጠህ ከዛ TypeScript you will parse out the colon ids ምናምን from the string value እና ከዛ have them as a params object so what's
like I remember trying to infer power word ማለት ነው ዛሬ I try to understand that word for so long
so infer is like calling it like to I don't know ምንድነው የሆነ some complex TypeScript expression አለ ከዛ reduce it into the final form ነው አይደል infer
yeah basically infer like ለምሳሌ የሆነ value extend ካረከዋል you don't know like the value at this point you just like infer ወደዚህኛው value like whatever value that is like just but like that was now I think like that's what I think like TypeScript can like actually like is making it impact like that's why TypeScript
it's a very like advanced JavaScript
and that I think structural more is like what that's like what makes it good because it was normally I'm not gonna like structural more gives you like a bunch of autocomplete not a big again it has like still like one of the worst
and I think the way I describe TypeScript is like putting a dynamic putting another dynamic language on top of another dynamic language because just they blow up one of the dynamic language handles the types for you so the values are the types the underline demo are the values are the actual values because it worked
yeah exactly
because ignore type ትላለህ
no you actually do like no it's after ማለት ነው like there is like a part where actually just ignore type literally man it's like inferring a regime thing like I just don't want to make sure like every security can just ignore it and it would work
I think ብቻ ሌሎ ጃቫስክሪፕት like replace ያደረጉ ብዙ functional language ራሱ pure script አለ እና ኤልም አሉ እና it's like ሁሉም ሞክረዋል ግን like ለጃቫስክሪፕት ከጃቫስክሪፕት ሳይልቅ ሃንድል ያደረጉ ፍሎም እንትና ሞክረዋል ግን TypeScript is ምንም ማድረግ አችልም ጎበዝ ጥሩ language ነው
but are you like they like people really try to make TypeScript is slow like it's very slow. I mean, it's not very slow, but it's slow. Like, not slow until later on, runtime later on, or JavaScript. Editor like it can become easily like slow. Change like organ. Better than like optimize. I'm actually trying to optimize like 1.1 listener like. Kabzanyon sara.
This is right.
Actually, we wrote the whole better code. So like, that was one of the problems. Zod is also a problem. Like, I think they planned to fix it before like.
What's Zod?
Zod is basically validator, runtime validator.
You can define like a schema, name, string, now, email, now.
Tell another like it cannot infer the type for you. At the same time, it can validate the type runtime. So that was the. Now Zod is like it makes also like things very slow. Like TypeScript performance is slow. And now like we're trying like to like I'm not sure if you're gonna move off Zod can like write margin better code and it makes it like already made it like.
Wait. Zod is slow?
Zod is slow like TypeScript performance is like.
So at compile time or at run time? Or?
I mean it's also slow for validation like compared to the other validators, but at the same time it's also very slow for TypeScript performance on your editor. So for example, archetype is very good. Archetype in Balala, 6 very good. Can like valuable in Balala, I'm trying to use valuable since it's close to Zod. If it's improved that taste performance. The guy actually told me like the creator.
Oh, Colin is the guy that created Zod, right? Why is that?
Colin now. I'm thinking about Valibot.
Okay.
It's called Valibot, which is similar to Zod, but it was actually a research project. La thesis number university memory cow. So you and now he made like a very fast validator like just. His advisors was the solid creator na yeah Angular creator.
Okay, solid so which lim performance garments. Yeah, I don't know if Zod was fast. Like ሁሌም የሆነ የፍሮንት ኤንድ ሰው ሲያናግረኝ ዞድ ተጠቀሙ ነው recommendation.
I mean it's good.
It's like it's crazy that people out there because front end የሰራ ዞድ ካልተጠቀም ከAPI ጋር ኢንተራክት ያደርግ ከሆነ what are you doing?
TRPC like TypeScript like slow no?
Yeah, TRPC
makes it slow every like
I haven't used TRPC that much again, yeah.
That was one of the reasons TRPC slow የሚሆነ ምክንያት
parse ለሚያደርገው ሁለቱ main
ዞድ ስለሚጠቀም like since you mostly use Zod like it makes it
oh wow inferring speedum እንትን ነው አይደል?
Because that's like why it makes like everything slow. And I think they actually made standard scheme የሚባል ነገር. So it's kind of like some kind of standard for validators. So you can swap different validators.
So I didn't read that much about that standard. Internet side track.
Standard schema የሚባለው so like.
So is it just a bunch of interfaces that እነዚህ ላይብረሪዎች ፎሎ የሚያደርጉት ወይስ word description ነው? Is it an interface?
It's probably an interface. It's an type of interface, no?
Yeah.
So basically like in the user and the user.
So in Beka code you are installing standard schema and now you're getting the types from that.
Yeah, instead of using Zod,
okay.
Then so like and as a user you can use Zod or you can use whatever like and that still work for you.
Okay. ከዛ schemaውን
library here again I can use standard schema instead of using Zod.
Yeah.
So that makes everything like.
Okay, so the library size ይቀንሰዋል. That's good.
Yeah, plus like you can ለምሳሌ አንድ ሰው ቫልዩዎች ተጠቀምና ዞድን እንደሆነ ላይብረሪ ብቻ ሊያስቀምጥ ይችላል። So instead of like you can use like ቫልዩዎች ለሁሉም ምናምን and I think like ብዙ ናቸው ቫሊዴተሮች አሉት። There is one like I think the fastest one like type box የሚባል.
Okay.
So that's the fastest.
Yeah. Any non-JavaScript and TypeScript projects?
I tried to learn like and some Swift. So I became totally Swift. I did like a small toy web server. So I made a web server. Again, I was trying to like. That's when I really appreciated the TypeScript type system. Like Swift has good type system. Like it was like hard to make anything a good experience on since it's dominant. And I tried to learn Rust on a Saturday.
Didn't we all?
The first time when in Beka meet right now, የኮርናይ ግሩፕ ላይ መጣና ከዛ he said ምንድነው የሆነ ሪኩዌስት የሚባል የሪኩዌስቲንግ ላይብረሪ ያለ ረስት ላይ that is slower than የሆነ የፓይተን ደግሞ ሌላ ፓይተን ላይ ምንድነው ላይ
ፓይተን ኖርማል ፓይተን ሪኩዌስት ላይብረሪ
ፓይተን ሪኩዌስት ነው ይባላል
out of the box request
ከዛ it's crazy በቃ ምንድነው የተፈጠረው ነው ብዬ ማይሆን ነገር
and you was like dude I just discovered something I think Python is faster than the rest
ያምበርኩኝ ነበር
እና ደግሞ like በዛ ሰዓት እንትን ነው ገበያሽን ሰራው ማለት ነው ፌሽ የሚያደርገው የለም የሆነ ክሮል የሚያደርገው ነገር ማለት ነው ክሮለሩ like ሪኩዌስት ስለሚልክ I thought if I use like የለም ረስተን like እና ሉፕ ሳርግ ብዙ ፕሮዳክት ሰማረክ I would make it faster ምናምን ግን like it's IoT like it's not gonna make it faster ግን I don't know why it was slow
I think የዛን ጊዜ የተፈጠረው እኮ I think we figured it out አይደል የሆነ የኪፕ አላይቭ የሚባል ሄደር አለ so when you're doing multiple requests in a loop
yeah it does it by default
እንትና የፓይተን library it doesn't close the TCP connection so it uses the keep alive ID to use the same TCP connection to make multiple requests Rust library doesn't do that by default it tries to make a new TCP connection every single time
and not the thing I was like dude like I think Python is faster what do you mean like
እኔ በቃ ኮር ቤዝ የሪኩዌስትን ኮር ቤዝ ምናምን ምንድነው ተፈጠረ
ፓኒክ ያርክ ነበር
good like the problem I had is like not using TypeScript man it's not like learning a good language mark is fun like I language mark this language yeah በተለይ የሆነ ፕሮጀክት ካልሰራበት በቀር የሆነ ዝም ብሎ ስትማሩ at least የሆነ fun ምናምን ግን I just never had like a problem that I can fix with Rust I never had a problem I can fix with Swift so it makes more sense to fix them with ለምሳሌ if I want to make even an iOS app it still makes more sense to use like X4 rather than like Swift so like unless like you're trying to like iOS which are የሚገርም app ምናምን ከሆነ ሰጋ just like it doesn't make sense for me to use same with Rust like if you want to use Rust for example like for I don't know maybe if I had an idea to make a developer tool parse የሚያደርገው ነገር ነው maybe I would use Rust like if I had ever ግን ሌላው ኢሹዎች በተገላላ like just why would I make web server with Rust
you're making it hard ራስ ላይ
yeah like for no reason man
እኔ ለiOS የሆነ አፕል ሰራቢ I just decided you know what Swift ይቅርብኝ
Flutter makes it እሱ ነው like why would I like and you still have a chance like to make it like cross platform so like that like logically doesn't make sense to use it
right again yeah I just wanted to ask a open source life and data like it's I love the response you're getting
Discord ቁጭ ብለህ ቀርሙሉ ሪስፖንድ ማድረግ Discord
ቆይ መጀመሪያ are you a one man team or is like do you have people that help you out because the productivity it's great
up to now it's me most there are people who help out like for example Kingfish helps out sometimes there is like one guy like he's also the second contributor right most contributor better like large so he's just like random guy Discord like
okay so you don't even know him
yeah he's not even like senior developer he's like a kid on like he's like I want to edit this like he's like very enthusiastic about it and he also like he added a bunch of things for documentation which is like fun for me because like I don't know how to do documentation like he added guides like it's not even a small thing like it's just he did like a lot of things for the documentation site so he helped out like there are people like they just came out and just and ሁለት ነገር fix like አርጋው ነው
እኔም አንድ ነገር ፊክስ አድርጌ ጠፍቻለሁ
ግን now that but there are people like contact አርጋው on Discord like we want to help him and like
so give me there are people actually ይሄን ፊቸር ላይ ስራ በለኝ ምናምን ብለው የሚጠይቁ
issue እንትን የለም issue list ነው like an issue tracker type of thing like
yeah I mean like we have a lot of open issues
PRዎች ይመጣሉ በየቀኑ probably
yeah actually like if I find this like even it's harder to review PR than
actually implement it
and like I'm sure like not necessarily when review PR ለማድረግ ታይም ተወስዶ ነገር ልክ ነው ፑል አርገ ክሎን አርገ እነሱን ወደ ራስ ብራንች አርገ ማን አይታ ቺክ አርገናስ like aloro so it's like can I just not like there are times like I just trusted someone and something's broken because ሁለቴ ነው አንድ ጆን በጊዜ ያለ ነው መሰለ like probably should get yeah you just see the ነገር I think this correct like book አረኩባል break ነው ነገር የሚያደርጉት ነገር ነው it would be like damn like what I have to like be careful about this so like for that reason like I have to actually review it you know also የሚጠቀመው ነገር አለዛ like review ማድረግ ይሆናል like አንዳንድ ሰዎች አሉ በጣም የሚያቀል ህይወትና ፒአር የሚገፍት ነው wow thank you
don't you have like a bunch of tests saying Pascal አረከኝ ጭራሽ ፒአሩን ላይ አሁን ምናምን
you have to it's like sometimes because or like it's not like since it's just I'm saying all to ነገር you don't have like አንኛ ሊፕ on test because like you have to like you have to so even not even that like we don't actually like write a ton of tests like we have many tests like we test like the main things but we don't have like extensive tests like every part test on naga we probably should it's like illegal like yeah again I'm like nah just I do it's just like it's too much work for me like I'm not, if it works but then ብዙ plugin ምናምን ስላለ like I'm gonna like taste every case ምናምን አንካልኩ and then I will evolve የሚያደርገን ፕሮሰስ ሆነ start
አሁን I understand your Linus life I guess because በጣም crazy Linus the Linux guy ሩድ የሆነበትን ምክንያት I guess I understand ቀን ብሎ
አረ ዲፌንስ mechanism ነው እንጂ ያስባል it's like
amount of people who actually implement well you know በአንድ ሌቭል የለም ደህና ነገር አውቀው ምናምን like very small amount of people like አብዛኛው ሰው ኢምፕሊመንት የሚያደርጉ ሰው የሆነ አይደለም I'm not even ማረጋው ማለት ነው so perfect I'll go to their GitHub profile እና I'll see like their contribution ብዙ ጊዜ የሚዘውሉት ነው እና የሆነ አብዛኛው የሚያደርጉ ሰው is not like ያን ያህል እንትን የሆነ ሰው የለም የሆነ ትንሽ contribution አለው like እየሞከረ ያለ ሰው ነው like እንትን እና ግን ደግሞ understand like how frustrating it is for them because I remember opening APR on Sharding
yeah it's like a UI it's like I told you it's like the modern day bootstrap
okay
yeah
the UI thing mano maintainer
Sharding it's like he named it himself
after himself
you become like yes in the name I opened the APR in telling the prefix እና ይሆናል as soon fix የሚያደርግ APR it's somewhat like an advanced than so like I was very proud of it now dude I did this
review አራዳካ
ከዛ you know የመዛረም አለ ከሱ የሚያገዘው ልጅ እሱ በጣም thank you for this pair on like I was like dude man I just did something because Charles never saw it like it got married after 8 months like it was 6 or 8 months that's starting the story of him saying
marriage ለመደረግ
like
wow
he give me like sometimes something ነገር like just never really cuz ምትሮ major and not like at that point I was like cause I think for me at that point it's just something like የለም እና ደግሞ አብዛኛው ሰው ይጠይቀው ነበር please marry ምናምን የለም ብዙ ነበር የምፈልግ ሰው and I was like dude why don't you marry this part or give me review ነገር ልክ አስተካክል በል ይባላል እና it's frustrating like I understand like አንተ እንደዛ እንደው ለዛ ብዬ like I try to be like እና ፒአር ማንቀበልም ከሆነ ቶሎ ምናምን ከሆነ ማለት since like people spend time on it can ያዳው try to that ግን open source life
have you ever rejected a PR
of course like you must not everything is going to be
yeah ካሱ ነው ከባድ like close ምናምን
ግን feedback ሰጠን ወይስ ጭራሽ ነው በቃ don't talk to me again
no I review ብትሰጣቸውም it's like በቃ unfixable ነው እኮ ነገር just close
በዚህ መጀመሪያ ሰሞን ብዙ ነበር እንደዚህ like ጭራሽ የሚሆን ነገር ማለት ነው እና እንትናችሁ የሚያበላሹ ላልክ ሙሉ መሆን ጎር ቆየው ላይ መገናኝ ከንቱ ነው ማለት ከፒአርስ ጋር መገናኝ ኮድ ይቀየራል እነዛ ማለት ይራሽ እና
unconfigured የሆነ formatting ምናምን እሱ ነበር
linking አይ ዳስ I can link for them
እሱ በጊታብ አክሽን ምናምን ትይዛቸዋል
that you can do that but still የሆነ ስለምንድን ነው እንደዚህ አድርገው እና ሙሉ እንትን ያጠፋል ፔን ሎክ ፋይል ማለት ይራሱ እና ሎክ ፋይሉ ዲፉ ማለት ነው ይገናኝ ገና like what are you doing and then the answer to
ኒክስ ቢሆን ሶልቭ ያደርገው ነበር ሳይት
yeah again yeah I mean we reject
okay so no ከባድ የሚሆነው ብዬ issues እስቲ ዳም issues ምናምን
Oh, it was often like like
Yeah, Discord ስላለ probably issue create አያደርጉም. They just ask you on Discord.
I started like እንትኑ ማለት ቴምፕሌት መፍጠር ነበር ግዴታ ማለት ነው። I always find it like issues ከፍተህ ቴምፕሌት ላይ ማለት ነው just me goes on. I just don't want to fill all these forms. ገና ሜዲታ ቴምፕሌት because it was like ኮንስ ይመጣ ነው ጽሁፍ ነው የሚጽፈው እና የሆነ like what are you doing እና ደግሞ I had a confirmation ማለት ነው. Is this fit for GitHub or can you do it on Discord or not? Like I added that line because like I never just your opinion you take GitHub think after that's
እኔ እንደዛ የሚያስቅ የተፈጠረው it's like አንድ ፋይል ላይ መጻፍ ምናምን የሚባል ሙድ ስገብቼ ነበር. So I just open Helix አንድ ፋይል ውስጥ ከዛ በኋላ go to definition ምናምን backtrack እያደረኩኝ ምናምን ብቻ እየሰራው ከዛ I did a bunch of my Rust ፕሮጀክቶችን የሆነ ጊዜ ሪሊስ ያደረኳቸው እንደ አንድ ፋይል ማለት ነው. ከዛ SQL ስቱዲዮን በዛ ሙድ ውስጥ እንደነበርኩኝ የጻፍኩትና everything is in a single main.rs file. It's like 1000 ምናምን lines of code. ከዛ it's a single main.rs file. የሆነ ሰማታ issues why is everything in a single file? አሁን ዲስኮርድ ቪዲዮ ምናምን በዛ ነበር probably መጠየቅ የነበረበት issue require ያደርግ ነበር.
literally something like post up አይተዋል like what is your plan ብሎ የከፈታል ዛንና what is your plan project are you planning to deprecate it? Like Lucius scammed us like what do you mean Lucius scammed you?
It's not the word scam is a peculiar.
ለምንድን አላውቅም ሉሻ ብዙ ሰዎች ኮምፕሌን
somebody was
You didn't pay for it like how
was giving you free ለምሳሌ የሆነ free money በየቀኑ የሰጠ ከዛ ሲያቆም why are you scamming me?
one thing ማለት ነው like having fun የለም ይሄ አሁን ብዙ ኦፕሽን የሚሰራ ሰው እንትን ያለው የሆነ በጣም ዲማንዲንግ ነው ሰው ምናምን like ይናዳሉ like የለም የሆነ I mean there were moments like when I'm telling it like for me it's like a privilege in some sense like someone care argo especially like እኔ ለምሳሌ ኢሹ ሲያጋጥመኝ I don't usually open an issue like I just don't care like no like either I'll change the library or maybe like I'll do work around or like I just don't care enough like to go there open an issue ምናምን ነገር ነው report it በጣም እንትን ሆነ ታውቃለህ ማለት
It's nice to know that people are actually using it ምናምን ነገር
yeah exactly እና actually care አድርጎ መጥቶ ፎርም ሞልቶ ምናምን ኢረር መክፈትም ማለት ነው like and somewhat like it's a privilege like and since we don't dog food like actually level activity ተቀምኩ ሳይሆን ለኔ is very useful like someone is using it and someone actually like opening an issue and fix ማድረግ ነው.
I mean now you probably know 7000 startups people are using it.
7000
Are you still happy?
I mean I'm happy in saying one it's not like I'm still happy because like for someone to actually I don't know maybe people think like the name especially like if they are like በስተግልጽ አፈ issue ምናምን ነገር for someone to care enough to actually go there and open an issue and mention like this like በስተግል አንዳንዱ አለ በስተግል reproduction የሚሰጥ ምናምን ነገር so to actually spend time to care enough to actually improve this for me because like I don't even care about PRs like if you open an issue and if I can fix it it's just art for me but I mean I would appreciate PRs or for features for example again for like immediate bug fix ምናምን ነገር if you care enough to actually report something for me to review now
yeah it is a form of contribution issue መፍጠር እንደዚህ
yeah and I don't think like maybe if it's not something I'm working on actively ለምሳሌ better fix ላይ የለም የሆነ issue ከፍቶ ለምን fix ታደርግልኝ ምናምን ቢለኝ ማለት ነው better fix ላይ maybe I'll be like dude like what do you I think because like since I think like this is like my main job man this is something that I'm working on now
so you're full time on better off
yeah it's like making sure me just and then I just told them like መጀመሪያ ጊዜ ያልኩ አቆምኩ በኋላ ስራ I just posted on the Discord this is my full time thing so people would expect you like to fix something for them and in some cases like you owe them like I don't know like I know that you don't owe them like
you owe them for using it
እነሱ committed ስለሆኑ አንተም committed መሆን አለበት
unless like you give them like I'm not that committed on it not they just use it then you don't care but I'm saying better fish ላይ I'm not that committed እና የሆነ ሰው ይመጣ ለምን fix አደረክልኝ እንጨምርልኝ ነበር like again እዚህ ላይ I'm saying I'm committed you know like company የለም company ላይ መጥቶ የሆነ ሰው የሆነ እንትን ይዘረ because it's kind of a value for you someone is using it at the like people sponsor projects like people pay for the project so one of the reasons people pay for the project is because like they think their users is gonna go ምናምን ነገር if like even for the people who's paying it if you just start like saying like የሆነ ለኢሹ ምናምን ነገር ለምን በመከፍተው ነገር like it doesn't make sense like for them to pay.
So how many contributors are there like actually like to the code base ላይ ማለት ነው?
Actually we have limited contributor already alpha መሰለኝ like
at least one PR ነው ወይስ like በደንብ contributor
200 you know they are like there are like big people who contribute like ለምሳሌ
who's the biggest
one contributor I think next creator contributor አድርጓል እሱ ሎም ለአምስት ዲስፕሌይ አለ
next even ምናምን ይሄ next view
view so next Sebastian
okay
he contributed like 5 now 6 PRs he was the first person like we were chatting on Discord like, every day man he was like, very excited about the project he made a ያን ገና ሲጀምር ማለት 0.1 ምን አለ he made a like, whole project around ቢተሩት እና next tab የሚባል እንትን አላችሁ ለዛ ምናምን የሚያደርገው እና like he made like so many custom things I didn't even know it was possible like to use better in the channel ያልኩ ነው like he did like a lot of custom things and I think the next community is good community like all people know like just like very welcoming even they have like good solutions cuz the guy himself works on another odd solution so like so it was nice and now I think Daniel I think Daniel Cornell
who is it?
Yeah, he's also working on next, but he made like a bunch of open source things. Like, he was like he was GitHub star on it. He was like TypeScript open source. I think he was one of the biggest.
By the way, congratulations on the React list thing. React, that's a big thing.
Next year,
I'm curious to know your Stack Overflow yearly survey አላቸው እዛ ላይ where are you going to be የሚለው ነገር probably the most loved
because it's general I think because that's for all programming languages maybe
no ብዙ section አላቸው programming languages frameworks ምናምን አላቸው ግን probably auth libraries section
if you did like something like open auth like ducks ምናምን እንዳረጉት if you had a way you wanted to build like an authorization server to turn your beta root config into an authorization server.
I haven't seen like their like authentication section if they had. Can maybe in the zakalacho I don't know. Again, I remember Supabase like big. Big በጣም ቆይቶ like እንትን like after
እኔ Supabase ላይ የሆነ እንትን አለኝ like በጣም የሚያናደደኝ ነገር አለ real time API ያቸው what the hell self host ስታደርገው ማለት ነው እና like እነሱ host ያደርጉት
self host አድርጋል
yes and I use it for a project self host አድርጌ but the real time API is giving me issues
because like hard to self host
ብዙ complain ያለው Supabase they're lying about
either they're doing it on purpose so that you'll use it ግን አይመስለኝም
like there's no matter self host
and I think in purpose there is no reason for them to dedicate work into making it easy to self host ገብቷል
No, self host ይደረጋል it's fine self host like it's a docker compose file and they run it runs everything for you ግን making the actual features work አላ ለምሳሌ በተለይ real time API web sockets ምናምን involved ስለሆነ
I think that's what they mean like I mean run I think it's simpler ግን still like I mean at the end it's just possible ግን like የሆነ configure አድርጋ featureዎቹ ማግኘት ምናምን ነገር for example I think they have the auth section ለብቻው አይደል auth የሆነ
I mean auth sound like authentication or it's authorization like when you say
I think
it's fine የሆነ ሲጀመር ሁለት ኪ ነው ያላቸው አሁን ኪና ሰርቪስ
no I mean like they give you like authentication like you can authenticate yourself
they have like a simple authentication still
is that
the user yes they do have that
have you self host that so
yeah ሁሉንም ነገር self host
and it works
user authenticate ማለት it works ግን ይሄ row level security የሚሉት ነገር authorization it's finicky self host ታደርገው ችግር አለበት and also the real time
yeah I don't think like I'm not a fan of row level security like I think this is
weird
not the concept of like you know not having a middle API to database like database ላይ እንትን ማድረግ
I don't know I think if when I saw about like sync engines ምናምን ሳይ Because that's like, I think it's the final form of not needing the middle part, like just connecting directly from the database to the client የሚለውን
No, I mean, like it makes sense. Like lasting engine ምናምን ነገር makes sense. Let me say, like for example, on lasting engine like it does make sense. የሆነ አሬ ሊስት ተቆና ነገር እንትን ማለት ይችላል። ባጃው ላስቲንግ ኢንጂነር ካለ ሰው ቤተሰብ የሚጠቀም ዜሮ ምናምን ዜሮ አዲስ ወጥቷል ላስቲንግ ኢንጂነር they have like actual support for better and now we provide them like a JWK endpoint and they support that. So like you can still use the element as when you make an app.
Oh, in that case you're using beta route like an authorization server, an authentication server, right? Yeah.
Not exactly, but like just give them like a JWK payment check in the mirror, so the user info so they can authenticate. In that sense, like application layer like having a database no macOS like user like authorization part just and that's the reason like for example like Firebase become like a problem. Firebase security issue covered. I think
I don't know if Firebase security it's like it's hard to configure ምናምን
because it's not like configure ማድረግ ከባድ ሰው ይረሳዋል you don't care and ያልና if it's on your app like it's almost readable if something is breaking you can know ምናምን
by the way ቅድም ስናወራ ነበር ግን ሱፐርቪዥን self host ያደረግ ነው it's because of this GDPR thing. That's why because it's a regulation thing. Self host ማድረግ ፈልገን አይደለም sensitive data ስለሆነ like it's weird.
For beta routes for what like how was like did somebody request ምናምን GDPR compliance verified ናቸው ምናምን ብለው in beta route
like lemon
I don't know because you're storing
we don't store the data so
you're giving them the database until
no we just like enable so like it's your problem
no እንደዛ ስላላችሁ ታድላችሁ እኛ we like the Superbase thing I'm working on a configuration store ለማድረግ እና configuration sensitive data so the configuration files are like for IoT devices.
Why are you using Superbase like this? Why are you using
I think maybe the front-end developer.
ሲጀመር the only reason we use it is because of this real-time thing. የሆነ አለቃችን አነበበና we can like update configuration on devices without delay. የሆነ configuration edit ስታደርግ እዛ ላይ that እንትን easier ያደርግልናል ብሎ ነው። Yes, we can implement it ourselves by WebSockets ምናምን ግን
yeah, I mean, after something is maybe
it's only for the real-time thing. ካልሆነ Postgres መጠቀም ነው።
good for your apps maybe.
በጣም ብዙ headache ፈጥሮብናል.
Yeah, like Superbase is the first database I used. Like that's like how I'm recent.
ማለት Postgres መስኪን ምን ነገር ተጠቅመው
like that's like the time. No, I used like SQLite I think must say like I JSON store like I crawled minimally ሰራው ማለት crawler ነው ቴሌግራም ላይ ግለሰብ ሰራ ማለት ሶስት ለከመጣኝ በኋላ JSON ፋይል ላይ ሰው ማለት እንደምችል አወቁ ከዛው ነገር dude I get that like it's like I was storing this one ነገር ከዛ ሰርች ሳርም አንዴ ነው ከJSON ደግሞ ማነበው ምናምን ስል የሆነ you should use database እና ይባል ነገር ከዛ Firebase ሪኮመንድ አድርገኝ የሆነ ነገር ማለት ነው Firebase ሲሆን it becomes and I like the idea of structure for some reason like I'm used to a scheme about to take then later la Superbase when I'm say okay what is Superbase alternative to Firebase because damn like I'm going to use this and not like since it doesn't have like a backend name so just I like Superbase Python client yani Python client ራሱ ማለት ነው Superbase ላይ የሚሰራው it was like by outsider.
Yeah, Pi እንደነበረ Pi
Superbase Pi ነው Superbase ነው Pi Super.
So you've worked with Python. It's not like the TypeScript pitching on
Oh yeah.
Python is your
I remember like Python down like, I didn't know like what JavaScript. Now Python doesn't mean like which is level you need JavaScript right? Like, JavaScript because do you know PyScript?
Yeah.
So
I think there's another one called Python.
Python mountain. Python I just like it turns I think it's like
transpiler okay.
PyScript እንትን ነው የሚያደርገው like
just VM
HTML ላይ you can write Python. So you will turn it to JavaScript. So it's like the most slowest thing like the most thing like you shouldn't use. I didn't really want to use JavaScript. I didn't want to learn like JavaScript. So ያኔ ገና እንትን ማለት ነው መጀመሪያ ቨርዥኑ መለቀቁ ነው like ተለቀቀ የሚባል ሰምቼ ነው ሳነበው like PyScript instead of using JavaScript, you can use Python. Damn, I'm gonna use this. Then I made the first version with Django.
Oh, I love Django.
I don't, but I made it.
Why are you gonna say that?
Out of the box authentication system. Okay, I'm in love with that.
Oh, okay.
I'm coming around down. Yeah.
Wait, what's your gripe with Django?
Maybe again it's because like, no, like draw general like I think it's general hate for and like structure. Let me tell you. And I am like I think it's because like it makes it anti-hyper ነገር ነው maybe that's like ሁሉም ያለው ነገር ግን I used like but that time I used Rails. I tried Rails. No, I tried Rails and Django. Then Rails was good. Like I mean, again, they have the same thing. Rails was like you know somehow better experience. Then again, it's Jammer, then Django was nice. Then I used it again like recently. So this one I come up with one year, loaner project like then it was like, dude, how are people making applications?
After you tried Next.js and stuff,
yeah, like it was like I just like
I think general gripe model view.
MVCR
features.
Like I
just you could have like an imperative way of doing things. Next.js like model view you just have your database, fetch it. This
serializer file መፍጠር አለብህ ነው ሲል like serializer file like serializer ማድረግ ይቻላል። Yeah, I think like I don't think it's bad. Like I just probably like it's good. Like like Lani probably ተጠቅሜ ዋርግ ነው ነገር like probably probably like if I have used like often enough now I'm happy like have fun like
I think we should get into the AI thing.
Okay, and now it's like ምንድነው ጥያቄው ምን ይሁን I don't know. እኮ ጥያቄው ለዲስከሽን እንዲሆን ወይ ሀሳብ አለ ቤካ? Like what's your gripes with AI?
Do you have gripe with AI?
Okay.
Oh, so much. I had a gripe with like the person Samuel Tman for some so long like መጀመሪያ and that's the point that I just thought like AI like these things that are gonna become like የለም የሆነ I don't understand the term AGI, but I just like የሚገርም ነገር ይመጣልና will solve cancer. I don't know. Will solve your problem. Yeah. And I thought like it's gonna be something real. So like not really something like እያየን ያለው ነገር like something that's going to happen or ነገር like yeah, እኮ ግን ማለት that like that was like my idea of AI. And now I mean it was silly, but at least like that's like something possible like it's very smart. I mean ሁሉ ነገር ከሆነ ፖርት በኋላ ሲጀምር ትንሽ ነው so that was like my idea of AI ከዛ የሆነ ሰዓት ላይ I've heard some podcast they were like very skeptical of the total concept then I was like
probably on a Lex Friedman podcast
it's like it's not even that technical podcast it was like some comedian guy just invited ማለት የሆነ
ቲዮፎን ነው probably
I think የሆነ ጊዜ ባለፈው አመት ግማሽ ውስጥ 2024 ግማሽ ውስጥ ሁሉም ስልክ ይሄ ምንድነው ስትራይክ ያደረጉ ጊዜ የአሜሪካ ራይተሮች አክተሮች ምናምን ስትራይክ ያደረጉ ጊዜ ከዛ the production companies tried to use AI as a negotiation tactic እናንተ እኮ ያን ያህል ቫልዩብል አይደላችሁ AI መጠቀም እንችላለን አሏቸው ራይተሮቹንም አክተሮቹንም ከዛ ያዳሜ ጆን ስቱዋርት did a video about it ያዳሜ ኮሜዲያን አክተር ምናምን AI ላይ መውረድ ጀመረ
good like the comedian wasn't the one like making I mean he was but he wasn't like he invited like actually people who work on AI so they wrote a book called Snake Oil now so እንዲን ባለ ጻፈው
it's not that man ነበር አደም ምናምን የሚባለው
ያ ሰው ያደም ኦቨር
የምር ፖድካስት ነው
ከዛ I don't know the guy even at the point no
I honestly hate that guy
I hate that guy too I don't know him at the point I just saw him and like they were very skeptical and I was like oh dude like and I like skeptical was funny like skeptical to ነው you feel like when የለም ሰው ማያውቀው ነገር አንተ እንዳውቀው ቀርማ ከገሩ በፊት እንደሆነ so skeptical ሲሆን ማለት ነው this is something interesting then I this was for now and then like he doesn't have like that much other AI content like then I just tried to find like like people skeptical ነው ስለ AI ማለት ነው I just want to know more oh no not like እሱ እስከዛሬ ሰማ ነበር ስለ AI ሰዎች ብዙ ሰማ ነበር like ሁሉም ሰክሰስ ነው ማለት just I couldn't find like እስከዛሬ ሰማ ማንም ሰው skeptical አይደለም Twitter ላይ ምናምን ነገር maybe like I don't notice but people were not like Twitter ላይ በተለይ ማንም no one is like skeptical AI like and I would just become እና ደግሞ ያንሳስ ያል actually it was recent እኮ ኦስሪ ምናምን ሪሊዝ ያደረገው ሲሉ አካባቢ so osri release ያደረገው ምናምን ነገር like oh like this is going to become AI ምናምን like just going to ከዛ like oh people are skeptical about this እና ደግሞ ስራዎችን ሊለቁ ነው ምናምን ዲቨሎፐር ምናምን like things and you have like a sense in your heart man like you are ነገር like it's not going to lead to that like just you wanna from this at least it's very hype but you just don't understand like what it's happening you know just like you have like a hinge of it it's not like can defend your ነገር then I went in like there was like Michael Jordan የሚባል እንትኑ ሰው ማለት there is a professor like email ላይ የሚሰራ Michael Jordan የሚባል so he's famous he's very famous like he's like one of like the first people like until ላይ የሚሰራ email ላይ ነው
I know that Korean guy man person and also messenger ግን እሱ
the people who work on LLM like actually like the higher level open and ነገር they are helping it but obviously again this guy is like actually a professor and he was actually ማለት ነው mentored by the person who came up with like back of algorithm like not came up he didn't invent it like he is the one who wrote the backpropagation in Taman so he was the person that wrote that so he's some credible like he's very credible like the old so he has like a bunch of them like talks he just escaped like he just saying like we shouldn't be doing this we shouldn't even name it AI he has even a podcast with Lex Friedman
okay
now his whole thing is like just this is not if the person like who made the backpropagation so this he wouldn't call it AI like it's not AI like he's saying like we shouldn't call it something intelligent he's just like a machine learning model you just can predict based on something
that's what I was saying
yeah did he give a definition for intelligence maybe I should check out the podcast
the first problem is like there's no definition for intelligence
yeah
so they cannot define what's intelligence
so why was he claiming that we can't call it AI
no I mean he said like okay which is fine like he understand like there's like a thing called intelligence but it's not like denying intelligence man real like he's not like me but his argument is like maybe one of his arguments like we didn't make like የሆነ significant የሆነ advancement የነበረው ነገር we using like the same backpropagation we just use like some additional things we didn't invent anything like new to call like something that we've been calling email and we've something we've given upon someday to become like this AI thing that's gonna bring us AI like that's like what you're gonna take it's not that thing like we haven't invented anything like ያን ያህል ትልቅ ነገር to call them okay so we just scaled AI we scaled this model በጣም በትልቁ በጣም like that's like the whole like obviously we've done like things like to make it scalable but at the end of the day we just scaled it like that's like the product so like these things like we just it's just specific not like for maybe like in intelligence like ትርጉም አዲስ በእኛ ሴንስ ማለት ነው it's not something like you can hard code right intelligence so I mean you can say like
adaptability the best way to define intelligence if you're gonna do it
yeah I mean you can define intelligence in many ways like you can you don't have one definition but you can like tell its characteristics so like if you don't even have definition for it you can say like it has this characteristic maybe like one of the characteristic is like having a consciousness so like that could be one like the like characteristic something to be intelligent so if you can have consciousness it's not intelligent so you can say that like that could be one of the definitions like
your definition post what is consciousness
yeah again before going down that route I want to address something because I've heard of a couple obviously the only thing that made like in the GPT-3 ጋር የመጡት ያዩት ነገር the scaling laws ናቸው so ምንም በሁሉም መንገድ ፓራሜትሩን ሲጨምሩት ትሬን የሚያደርጉትን ዳታ ሲጨምሩት እና ኮምፒውተሩን ሲጨምሩት just the thing just kept getting better alright so እና ግን እሱ it's like a trick እና እንትን ለምሳሌ አሁን የሆነ ሁሉም ነገር it's like there's a thing called emergent properties አይደል አንድ ኤንቲቲ እዛ ፓርት ውስጥ ያለ የሌለው ከዛ ግን ግሩፕ ኦፍ ዶስ ቲንግስ ሲሆኑ የሚኖራቸው አዲስ ፕሮፐርቲ ይኖራል ለምሳሌ አሁን የሆነ ምን ልበላችሁ ሂት or temperature if you're talking about an atom ምናምን ነገር የለም ግን ሞለኪውሎች ምናምን እርስ በርሳቸው የአተሞቹ ሙቭመንት ምናምን ስል የዛን ጊዜ ሂት የሚባል ቴምፕሬቸር የሚባል ኮንሰፕት ይመጣል ሶ እና ሐሳቤ it's like why don't we scale በስኬል መፈጠሩ why doesn't make it any less special
that makes it like I mean you can scale it like ለምሳሌ ኢሜል ኖርማል ለስፔሲፊክ ነገር የነበረ ነገር በጣም ስኪል ተደርጎ becomes some kind of intelligent
so I don't care that በስኬሊንግ እንዳገኙት I just care that the result ጋር
ምንድን ያገኙት ግን አልገባኝ
ያገኙትማ it's like a better model ነው it's like a better memorization of the internet እና ስልክ ቢያንስ አንሰሮቹን in some sensible way መልስ የሚሰጥ ነገር የነዚህ እንትን ፈተናዎች ላይ ምናምን 90 የሚያገኝ they got a thing that does that ምንም ነገር ነው thing
and that makes sense his great was ማለት ነው he wasn't like on AI ሳላችሁ ማለት ነገር በጣም ታርጀር ነው even his great is not like on AI like he's like scientific
he's working on it
he wants to get there his point is like we're trying to make this thing ማለት ነው and we're wasting a lot of energy on this while there are ማለት very varied cases for ML that we should be actually working on like you can like specifically make something trained on like they're trying to create like a god like machine so like that's like they're cramming every data and ነገር ና ግን you can have like a better model if you actually ለምሳሌ coding model
the one model to rule the whole approach is bad
yeah like they're trying to create like that kind of intel like when answer ለምሳሌ merge ያደርጋል ጋር merge ያደርጋል like ghost in the box እንዳልከው ማለት like ለምሳሌ like it can just answer everything ነገር like እንዴት ነው like እና ይሄ እነሳ ማለትማን you know ፖድካስት ላይ ቀርበው ሲያወሩ they are very confident that this thing actually would I mean we've scaled it for you ማለት የለም GPT የሆነ 2 ምና GPT 3.5 ሲመጣ ያስለይ የሆነ ከምን የመጣ ነገር ነው so everybody is happy የለም ከየት መጣ ነገር like if you understand ከዛ በኋላ ግን like if you see the progress even though there is a progress it's like very minimal progress because
I think honestly no የGPT 3 ጋር የነበረው በኋላ የነበረው progress slow አድርጓል ግን I think we are at another blowing up step with
GPT 4 was good progress
with RN
ከGPT 3 በፊት ከGPT ወደ GPT 3 ትልቅ ጃምፕ ነበር I don't think ከGPT 3 ወደ GPT 4 ነው ግን ያን ያህል ትልቅ እንደነበር
I mean ከGPT 3 እስከ GPT 4 it was like good progress like
okay
if you remember no like በዚህ ከቀጠለ ቀጣይ በቃ ነው የምትል ነው አይነት ባይነት progress ነው like that was እና they were trying GPT 4 before GPT 3.5 was released
yeah
so like just GPT 4
then let's keep it perspective it's only been 2 years 2-3 years huh
yeah I mean like
stagnate የሚያደርግ
የኔ problem is not የሆነ ይሄ ነገር more የሆነ whatever term used for intelligent የሆነ more መልስ የሚያልስ ነገር አይሆንም ምናምን አይደለም
it's like a good idea ግን ሐሳቡ አሁን ያልከው ይሄ there could be other training techniques algorithms I don't know ብቻ there are other methods that are not being considered ይሄ ስለሰራ አንዴ
and everything get defended so like if you're working on actually real problem fixing ነገር አይደለም like you're working on some ML model that actually fixes some problem like for example you're working on cancer ለምሳሌ when you try
AlphaFold for example
AlphaFold like if you're trying to like cure cancer እነሱ ያደርጋሉ ማለት እግዚአብሔር ፈጠረን እግዚአብሔር ካንሰር ይፈጠራልና ነው like so instead of that you should be working like less cure cancer like by making a specific ነገር አይደለም like እኛ ራሳችን that's like how we've been doing everything but they just have this fictional character just gonna like የለም we don't even know about them like just የሆነ ሳሊ ኢመርጅ ያደርጋሉ
yeah I think that's like the specific way they think about አልትመንም አብዛኞቹ ሲሊኮን ቫሊ ሰዎች once we get AGI it's gonna like we're gonna and then like እነሱ ብቻ ሳይሆን the people who started OpenAI ማለት ነው there were a lot of smart people in the early 2000s ምናምን የኒውራል ኔትወርክ ምናምን አይተው so እኔ ህይወቴ በሙሉ ሶልቭ ማድረግ like የሁማኒቲን ፕሮብሌሞች ሶልቭ ማድረግ የምፈልገው ከዛ ግን እሺ እኔ ብቻዬን አሁን ቁጭ ብዬ ኤጂንግ ላይ መስራት እችላለሁ ግን እኔ ልሞት ስል ምናምን 80 ዓመት ላይ ምናምን እሱን ሶልቭ አደርገዋለሁ ወይ ካንሰር ላይ ብቻ እሰራለሁ እሺ ካንሰርን ብቻ ሶልቭ አደረኩኝ እንትንስ ብላ ከዛ ለዚህ ኢምፔራቲቫችን እንደውም ይሄ like it's a whole group of people less wrong ምናምን rationalists ምናምን silicon valley ከዛ it's like my whole purpose I'm gonna make the last invention is AI and now AI AGI ነበር የሚሉት አሁን ASI ያረጉን AGI ና አውርደውታል ድሮ they call this thing AGI ከዛ እሱ ሶልቭ ያረጋል
አባቪያ አይደለም
እሱ ሶልቭ ያረጋል ኖ አይ ድሮ ይሄንን AGI አሁን ያልኩን ሲስተም ይሄ ካንሰር እሱ ከሰሩ በኋላ ካንሰር ምናምን ሶልቭ የሚያረጋላቸውን AGI ነበር የሚሉት አሁን ግን AGI ሁሉም በቀላሉ እየተጠቀመው ስለሆነ እሱን ASI
artificial super intelligence like ከኛ ራስ አልፋር ነው like
እንትና ማን ነበር ኢሊያስ ክስታበር ምንድነው የካምፓኒው ስም ASI ነው የምንሰራው ነው ያለው እኮ ሰመን አሁን ኢሊያስ ክስታበር እንደዛ አይነት ሰው ነው like so አሁን is like the one of the most smartest people in the planet ከዛ በኋላ ግን like he made a specific choice እኔ ሌሎችን ነገሮች ላይ መስራት አልፈ ይሄንን ሰራለሁ ከዛ እኔ የምፈጥረው ነገር ሌላ ነገር ሶልቭ ያደርግልኛል ናሳው
and also like even if these things is also possible like you know like it's not possible cause one if it was possible like it makes like you hold them ያለም ኢኮኖሚ አንድ ሊወርድ የሚችል ነገር like whatever like ጋርም ፈጥረው ማለት like
የሚያወርድ ስልክ we wouldn't need for it አይነት ማወርድ አይደል abundance ነው pure abundance
እኮ like it's just you need to come up with like a new thing እነሱ እንደዛ ነው like አሁን ለሰማልታ ምናምን ነገር ማሰብ አለብን አዲስ ኢኮኖሚ ምናምን ያ
I think they do I think Samaltman I don't know ግን the smartest እና ኢሊያ ነው ምናምን የሚባሉት ነው ማን ነበር ስሙ ነው ይሄ actual transformers ነው የሰራው ሰውዬ እና ኢሊያ ምናምን they do believe this
ግን ማለት አንደኛ ፕሮብለም አስን ስኮፕ ሲስተም so like የሆነ ሲስተም ሰራ ማለት you need to scope like ይሄ ነገር ይሆናል ትላል like there isn't the trying to create like tests for AGI every month because it's being passed because like it's never scoped system so when you have something that's not scoped man you'll never know when you achieved it because like I achieved it through your scope no here hindi there needs to be scope if you don't have a definition for AGI like have you heard like some definitions for AGI like only we said no like
yeah
የኛሱ ከሰራ የሚያስወጣ ማለት like what የኛሱ ከሰራ የሚያስወጣ ሰው ቢሰራ የሚተካ ማለት like it's not like አንድ $7 ቢሊዮን እና ገንዘብ የሚያስገባ ማለት like that's not the definition for like that's not the definition like that's like a characteristic so like you don't have like some kind of scope system you can make it and now እንዳልከው ግን the downside is they're defending like other like important things even like on እንትን የለም ነን ቪዲዮ ምናምን ነገር like you cannot even get like GPU for a real thing የለም የሆነ መስራት ፈልጋ ማለት ነው you cannot get GPU because it's just you have to like fight against them and now like it just makes it like that's like my grip rather than like I mean it's good like ገንዘብ እንትን ቢያደርጉት እና ደግሞ I hate like someone might want እንትን ላይ ሲቀርና የነ ፍሌክሲብል ማለት ፖድካስት ላይ GPT-5 ምንም ያኔ AGI አክቲቭ ሲሆን ምንድነው መጀመሪያ መጠየቁት ጥያቄ የለም it's like an እግዚአብሔር ስታገኝ ምንም መጠየቁት ጥያቄ አይደለም ማለት always this man in enjoy ነው ሰው ነው like don't do this like that's like my grip like you're trying to create God and God is one of the characteristics of God is like it's infinity like you cannot define infinity right infinity is like a very like one concept I don't know infinity like about like they're trying to create some infinity one system I don't know and you cannot create infinity system on like final they're like I don't care like I'm not it's not I'm trying to be religious man like I don't care you just like and there is downside to it including like economy and so ሊፈጠር የሚችል like ሁሉ ብር ኢንቨስት አድርጎ ሶፍት ባንክ ያር $20 billion ሎስ እስካሁን
ሶፍት ባንክ ተዋጆ እና ሁሌም ግሪፍት ላይ ነው ያስተያየው ሶፍት ባንክ $20 billion እኔ ማን ብር እንደሚሰጣቸው ራሱ ኢንቨስተሮቹ ሊሚትድ ፓርትነሮቹ ማን እንደሆነ አላውቅም
ሲከስሩ ነው ገቨርንመንት ባንክ ቤላንስ ያደርጋቸው
ሳነብ ስለሰውየው ማለት ነው I think he made it all back in ARM chip ናላ የሱን ገዙና ባለፈው ዊወርክ ላይ ኡበር ላይ ምናምን ብር ደፍተው let me just go into a side with WeWork እና አንተን ይሄ ሶፍት ባንክ ማን ነበር ሰውየው ባለፈው
ጃፓኒዝ ጋር
አልትመን ጋር ጠገብ ቁጭ ብለው so ኡበር ላይ ኢንቨስት አደረገ ማለት ኡበር ላይ ኢንቨስት ያደርግና ከዛ በኋላ እንዴት ኢንተርናል ዶክመንት ምናምን like እንዴት እንደሚሰሩ አይደል ያን ኢንፎርሜሽን ይቀበላቸው ከዛ he makes a bigger investment into their competitor ከዛ he gives them those documents to better compete against his own investment I think this has to be a crime አይደል ከዛ ግን እንደዛም ብር አቃጥሎ I think he made it all back in ARM የአርም የሆነ ሲግኒፊካንት ያ ማዮሺ-san I don't think he even understands technology ምናምን I don't think he's a technology guy.
I think that's the problem with the VC also like I don't think they understand like even I have a grip with YC I told them like
YC talk
agent ምናምን like actually apply to YC እና የኔ application ብቻ ላይ ይሄ YC እንደሚሆን ተስፋ አደርጋለሁ የኔ እንደለ ማለት ነው like authentication system like for like I think this is going to be like the future authentication system for even AI systems and AI agents maybe
you apply for like YC like that
because like I don't know
if you want to get it
I'm not going to like no ብሏል እንትናቸው ሪኳየርመንት ላይ ማለት ነው የምንፈልገው ምናምን ብለው ሁሉም AI ነው like AI agent AI system ነው
እኔ አሁን AI ብሎ የሚፈጠር ካምፓኒ ፓፕ ኤንድ ዳምፕ ስኪም ይመስለኛል ተሳስበው የሆነ AI ብሎ ከተውበት like value በጣም over inflated ይሆናል ይሸጡታል
እውነታችሁ ነው አሁን ይሄ እኔ I think እና እውነት ለመናገር maybe እና ኢሊያ ምናምን እንደዛ አይነት ነገር ላይ እየሰሩ መሆኑ I like it እንደውም እኔ እውነት ለመናገር because if it's a chance of doing something like this man no ቢያንስ at least የሆነ some number of like top AI ሰዎች እኮ 20-30 ናቸው ትቆጥራቸዋለህ ሁሉንም ነገር ኢንቨንት ያደረጉትን ሰዎች የሆነ ትራንስፎርመርስ ኢንቨንት ያደረገው ሰው የመጀመሪያው GPT ሰራ የመጀመሪያው ስታቃት ትቆጥራቸዋለህ actually the people who made all of the new inventions ትቆጥራቸዋለህ ከዛ እነሱ ሰዎች እዚህ ላይ እየሰሩ መሆናቸው እኔ I'm actually I think it's a good ግን እናንተ እነሱ ግን እየሰሩ የነበረው እኮ ከ2000 በፊትም እየሰሩ ነበር አሁን ሌላ የሚገሉት እናንተ ያላችኋቸው እኒ ሃይፕ ካምፓኒዎች አሉ ራፕ ያረጉ ያነሱ የሰሩትን ሞዴሎች ምናምን የሆነ በስፔሻል ዳታ ፋይንቱን ያረጉ
አሁን ሰማልቷን it's in his interest to sell this thing ስለዚህ he has to say AGI ይመጣል ብሎ ሆፕ መስጠት አለበት ኢንቨስተሮች
እንደልኩ
አሁን ስልክ እነዚህ ሰዎች እንትኑ ክራውድን አሰብስበውት እንደኔ NFT አይነት ነገር ክራሽ ከተፈጠረ ከዛ እነዚህ አሁን ኔይል አይነት ሰዎች ደግሞ I think they've got enough money አሁን እስከ ህይወት ድረስ እስኪሚያራቸው እነሱ እንትን እንዳይሆኑ ነው የምፈራው
I mean I still feel like I don't know like have you guys had like a good use case for AI other than like economically ማለት አንድ ለከፍልበት የምትችሉት use case other than code to complete
I would pay for ChatGPT voice mode የምር ነው I use it
እኔ
advanced voice
ለሰርች ነው ተቀበል ያ better Google ነው ለኔ
እኮ exactly like it's just a search engine እና I mean search engine is big thing like you can is big thing I mean I didn't say Google is the biggest company and it could earn them a lot like
it would save me a few clicks
yeah I mean again at this current stage obviously I will use Google more than ChatGPT because in a specific search market ከፈለክ search አድርጌ ምናምን it's not going to yeah maybe it could be useful ግን like I don't know የሆነ እስከዛሬ ማለት ነው obviously ChatGPT ከዛ auto complete ውጪ ማለት ነው I haven't seen ማለት ነው any real like I mean there are people to pay for something I'm not saying it's like gimmick ያለው ነው ማለት ነው actually really valuable የሆነ ነገር ማለት ነው I haven't seen anything like I'm not saying they're not going to be anything like obviously
እንትን LLM ሰፈር ነው AI ካለን ብዙ አሉ አሁን already
I mean LLM ብዙ LLM like obviously AI ብዙ አለ LLM ላይ ግን ማለት ነው I haven't seen like that big of a use case for it like that could have been like የሆነ ይሄን ያህል ብር አፍስታበት ነገር like all your basis AGI ይደርሳል ነው at the AGI level ደግሞ like no
I guess
it's either AGI or intelligent assistant
I guess intelligent assistant እና the whole point of like they have compressed the whole internet into a couple of gigabytes in your disk that's interesting
yeah I honestly like I don't have a grip like intel ላይ ለምን ነሳማልተ ማምራ ባሳሱ ማለት ላይ I don't care እንደ አይደለም ግን የሆነ ለምሳሌ የሚያነደኝ ማለት like ሳማልተ ማን ይዶ like የሆነ ለምን ከትንሽ ጊዜ በኋላ ፕሮግራመሮች አይኖሩም ምናምን ሲል you're actually demotivating someone አይ ለምሳሌ ማለት ፕሮግራሚንግ ለማርበል ከበስተጀርባ የመረጃ
ኮድ ናይት ሊቪሲ ሆስት እናረጋለን ትላንትናው ባላለፉት 2 ሳምንቶች ሆስት አረግና ከዛ ሁሉም ሰው እየጠየቀ ያለው ይሄንን ጥያቄ ነው we can't even discuss like የሆነ ምን ቴክኖሎጂ ሪስታርት ምን ፍሬምወርክ ማውራት አንችልም ሁሉም ሰው ስለያ ነው ማለት የሚፈልገው Drowning everything.
Exactly. Even the more like replace your concept ማለት ነው like ይሄን concept አለ without like actually having like a solid evidence that we would actually do like we really have no idea like ዊሮ ሆፒንግ ማለት ነው እሱ እንዳሉ ፎር ኢመርጀንት የሆነ የሚመጣ ነገር አት ሰም ፖይንት ማለት ነው ዊዛውት አወር ላይክ የሆነ አዲስ ነገር ይፈጠራል አይደለም ምናምን ወይ በጣም ትንሽ ስናብቃቸው የሆነ ነገር ይፈጠራል ወይ ምናምን like that's like our hope maybe they have like internal thing that we don't know but based on that I don't think like they have I even think when also really ሲያደርጉት ማለት ነው it's because they had like የለም የሆነ የሃይፕ መቀነስ ኦፕን so they want to give them also
hype those
እንትናማ ነው ሳማልተማንም እንደዚህ ሃይፕ በዛብኝ እያለ ነበር ዝም ብሎ
ሳማልተማን like like I don't think like people መስመር ቦታ የለም ሳማልተማን is like some kind of genius he has like I don't know people think like ሳማልተማን is someone like they compare it to Elon Musk like no
Elon Musk
no I'm saying like Elon Musk I don't know Elon Musk has like some kind of credibility like I mean like
okay
no I'm not saying he's a genius and he's done like some important things he has companies that at least he was involved in it this guy has like it's known as company was
he had failed companies before right? It's like OpenAI የመጀመሪያ እንት ነው
he had one company was he ገባ I think he sold it for some money like it's not like that big of
I think he sold
he became the Washington and then he's OpenAI so like he was never that guy Elon Musk vibe I don't think he's trying to put that but he's kind of putting that I'm that guy but I'm like he's just not that guy I mean, like,
he's not a captain of industry.
He's no one.
Again, I don't know. If you're comparing people to Elon Musk, who's gonna look good? Everyone has
obviously, but like, I'm not even comparing Elon Musk. Like, whatever, like, understood the career. የሆነ ካምፓኒ ኖሮ ሰክሲድ ያደረጋ ሰው whoever like I don't think he does like an extraordinary success ሌላ አንድ ካምፓኒ በቂ ነው like አንድ ካምፓኒ he made stripe
stripe altman
I know stripe ቢያደርግ ኖሮ like I think that's like good Uber እና ቢሆን like Uber ሊሰሩ ሰው
የሆነ በእንትን የሆነ ራሱን he's not even an entrepreneur per se የሆነ create አድርጎ
ትልቅ ያደርጋል he's not an AI engineer so like he doesn't have goals at least on E01 ምናምን ማለት ነው you don't expect him like that he is like
what I don't understand is the beef የሆነ ሰው ላይ
altman
ለቆ ነበር what was the beef
ማለት I think like I don't think even OpenAI like I think he manipulated people I don't think like the OpenAI board I think OpenAI has a good like good inception initially like good in the sense that they are actually were like committed to like AI የሚባለው concept
አሁን እንዳልኩ እንደዚህ አይነት ሰዎች ናቸው እንዳለ የገቡት መጀመሪያ
he started making it like a consumer product
ያዛን ነው
if you remember when they released GPT 3.5 it was a research project so like it was never meant to be like a consumer product so it just I think he just made the focus on like let's make Google and fuck and even they're not doing well in that section either like cause it's not like fully like committed so I think that's their problem
I think በቃ ግራይፑ ምንድነው ከሃይፑ ጋር ነው እንጂ
I don't think AI will be achieved but
ግን I think አሁን ያሉት የሌለሞች useless ናቸው የሚለው ሐሳብ maybe we shouldn't have like this much investment into them okay that's one thing ግን useless አይደሉም
for the amount of money spent on them they are useless
okay
I mean compared to like I don't know if they lose to AI
maybe በሱ በሜትሪኩን like ሁሉ ሞዴል ትሬን ይደረገበት ምናምን ካልኩሌት ካረከው
no like let's say እንትን የለም I mean the only time they are useful for me like especially currently is for like I mean I'm thinking economically ለኔ ማለት ነው useful but code እንትን ለማረም code auto complete I don't use code auto complete but I don't also like ሰርች ማድረግ የለም ይሄን ጥቂት ፊክስ አድርግልኝ like I could have done እስከ ዛሬ አብዛኛው ማድረግ ነገር ማለት ነው I honestly could have done it with Google search Stack Overflow
iteration speedun ካነሰው ማለት iteration speedun
አሳነሰውልኛል እንጂ ማለት ነው እና I would have like been like smarter like and again I still have no complaint like on them planning to make like augmented intelligence like human augmented intelligence and augmented medical intelligence then like trying to create like let's make something that's above humans
so I guess what the last part ንግባ ወይስ like I guess እኔ መጠየቅ የፈለኩት what are open source projects are you excited about other than your own project one
I think Better Call is I'm gonna check it out because like having a generalized function calling interface like በAPI መጠቀም የሚችል በኮድ መጠራት is powerful.
ግን other than your own project አንተ okay you're excited about that
እኔ ምንድን ነው ሴት ያልኩበት ፕሮጀክት excuse that I honestly don't have like currently you know በጣም excited ያልኩበት ፕሮጀክት አሚሮ ሲመጣ አንድ ባለፈው አይቼ ነበር የሆነ ሳለ የሆነ ሰው ኮንታክት አድርጎ ምናምን ነገር there was a project I don't remember the name but like authorization ነው authorization layer no application layer
okay
it does not connect to the application
okay
but it lives within your web server like nginx ላይ ነው የሚጫን ነገር so like በዚህ ሮት ላይ you can define like rules and ነገር so
okay
before even you read application like you don't have like authentication
yeah
you can have like
just a separate wrap ያደርገዋል ሰርቪስን ከዛ it just brings all the things you need
yeah like until layer ላይ ነው ያለው like web server layer ላይ ነው application layer ላይ ሲያማ so that's like I should have like good that's like one ምንድን ነው ፕሮጀክቱ ስሙ ነገራቸዋለሁ
you'll probably text it as well
I guess እኔ better call ያፌት አንተ
እኔ እንኳን I don't know better off ነው ያለው that's probably what I'll work on better off than FIDA or something
like do you work on like JavaScript
no Java
Java
I've never touched JavaScript in like 7 years it's been like a while so
I've never like I wrote like more than one line of Java and this stuff ማቆበት በስክሪፕት ነው
ፕሮፌሽናል ግዴታው ነው ቢኖር እንጂ my thing is Python Java is because I had to write Java
Python like what do you use Python
Django I was a Django developer የሆነ ሰዓት ላይ አሁን ደግሞ I'm an MLOps guy so
ML sorry then yeah I think JavaScript will also overtake the ML part so
that's a long shot that's well
we just need to create like
there is no other like perfect እንትን የሆነ ከሲ ጋር በደንብ ኢንተራክት የሚያደርግ እሱ ለዛ
yeah maybe yeah I mean the Ben is like doing good
Ben is like making progress ግን now maybe እነሱ እንደዛ
you can write your JavaScript file you will run it
yeah you just import a C file cuz they have they compile it for you now
you can even run the shell script file just right now
Ben they're doing great things Ben they're doing great things Ben it's a runtime yeah
that's a lot of dekach that's more than 2 hours
it's 20 minutes
that's great I think Beka let's go I guess Wait do you have anything else do you want to say actually እኛ ሀገር የኦፕን ሶርስ ኮሚኒቲው ምን ይመስላል like other than you two እኔ ማንንም አላውቅም honestly so I would love it if you introduce me
I think ክንፈሽ farm UI
it's the best one I don't think I think የሆነ ስለ one thing I want to say like for example me ማለት ነው I'm not talented person like programming ላይ ሳንስ ሊሆን ሰው አይደለም so I'm not I just have like I'm not like any complexion ነገር እንደሰነ ማለት ነው የሆነ ነገር so like ከስታንት ጀምሪ ኮርስ አደረኩ
no I think you're like ያው humble መሆን ትክክል ነው ግን I think you're like in the top 90th percentile ምናምን of 99th percentile of TypeScript developers library
TypeScript ምናምን ሁላ አታጥበው እንጂ
no but general developersም high agency በመሆን እውነት ነው ግን even if we're talking about TypeScript I think better fetch and code base አሁን ፈተው which will be hard for most people to understand
ግን ማለት
even if they are TypeScript developers
I mean like I understand like I'm like I can't yellow belly ማለት ነው just የሆነ አልፍ don't ማለት but the reason I'm good at currently like good ሆንኩበት ነገር good ሆንኩ ማለት ነው I don't think it was cause የሆነ የለም የሆነ like I keep it down or whatever like ወይ ፕሮግራሚንግ ላይ የሆነ ጉብዝ የሆነ ከድሮ ጀምሮ አንደርስታንድ ማለት ሰው እንኳን I don't think so like for example I genuinely think like Fry is good like የሆነ he has like programming mind so I don't like I'm not like I always do music I just text you know like random even when I do music I wasn't like a musician like and I think anyone like people if have like a good purpose they really want to achieve I think they can like you know maybe agency ያልከው ነገር like makes sense I don't know agency I feel like to make like my friends like learn coding and they are smart people like they are smarter than me like, they do like good like, in school and like, they still couldn't I mean that is like some agency part but if you have the agency if you really think like if you already can code you can like write websites you already like are but I'm very position because understanding writing website is like hard when you start I have like very smart friends who will never like if you're able already like to make your next year's project that's good enough start man to actually be ambitious like you've passed like that step
initial hurdle
like ለነዚህ ሆነ ይቻላችሁ
depending on the domain if going to follow በጣም ትንሾች ይኖራሉ ግን nothing የሆነ እስካሁን እዚህ ከደረስክ መማር ትችላለህ
exactly there's nothing like that hard like የለም ውይ ምናምን
በአሁን ዘመን ያው ኤልኤልኤም እንጣላም they're just a good
ኤልኤልኤም I can see I'm not going to be again can you can like even like learn from them
how could I do this better much
I mean I think just still luck የለም deeper ነው like even once ለምሳሌ አሁን ማላውቀው ነገር ስቴክ ማለት ነው still don't get and satisfying knowledge can again like you can learn and you can build some project like you just need to be like I'm just I honestly ማለት ነው ቤተሮት ከመጣፍ በፊት like the reason I'll say is because like I had like an expectation ይሄን ያህል የሚያል ባለም ማለት ነው like I had expectation ቤተሮት to do good so like it wasn't purely accident if I thought like I don't know like if we will do good or not I wouldn't have reacted like 4 times the reason I did that was like I've seen a problem I don't think it has been solved yet so Twitter ላይ post ተባረገው even though like in al bayersም የሆነ አልሱ ያዋል and I remember my goal was ማለት ነው it could get me like further like to have a big great job ለምሳሌ like in search job at least it would give me that so let's zabi and በሰሩትና I think if you have a goal to do something and until like I'm 100% sure like you will succeed like you just need to find an idea do it and I will become successful so be more gentle when even for that like Indalco if you already passed the hurdle do stuff like you already passed the hurdle like that was fucking hard like to actually know something if you pass that like you can do anything
so on SD card ሞላች I guess so we're not recording video but we're recording audio so we should probably end today's episode I guess
we did it
have a good time
successful first episode
እንቀጥል ብንል እስከ ማታ እንቀጥላለን ግን we have to eat drink and do other things ስለዚህ
obviously I didn't eat lunch so like
እኔም ራሱ I had 1 cup of coffee እና ለማንኛውም thank you very much
for being here
አመሰግናለሁ በጣም ስለጠራችሁ like even the podcast guests ነው ዲስኮርድ ላይ ከምታሳልፈው ጊዜ ቆርጣ ለኛ ይሄ ነው ስንት ሜሴጅ ተልኳል